Good morning. This is 5th April 2020 and another critical day. The whole world, very critical day. Australia might have heard 1.2 million people flatly, blanketly asked to leave country. Precautionary measure. And they say if you stay here, you care about, you be ready for your own care, self-care for 6 months. We will not take any care for yourself. So you see what's happening due to Corona. People are being pushed out from their current countries and asked to leave, which is happening everywhere. US in complete turmoil. Complete turmoil. I think maybe more than 10,000 people have lost their lives by now. They are not telling, but maybe more. And it's around 1.2 million people affected. And in Hong Kong, there was a dispute regarding should we wear mask or we should not wear mask. WHO recommended that there is no mandatory requirement you should use mask. If you are not patient, if you are patient in a sense, if you are suffering from Corona or you are having symptoms, then you should wear mask. Everybody is not required to wear mask according to WHO. Yesterday, this was a big news. Actually, we people are not clear about what should be done, what should not be done. Mask should be worn only by patients, not by everybody. This is what WHO says, and because Hong Kong people refused that, and there was a clarification from WHO that it is not mandatory for everybody to use mask. Only patients suffering from symptoms of Corona should wear mask. I'm just informing you that do not be confused about this. Only those patients who have been reported that they are sick or they are suspected of Corona, they should wear mask, not everybody. And it was clarified yesterday. So it's mandatory for doctors, nurses and all those that they should use specified masks. So means complete confusion exists everywhere regarding what should be done, what should not be done. Somebody says keep a distance of 1 meter, somebody says keep a distance of 1.5 meter, and there was a news of about 9 meters distance. Means no clearance, but it's very easy. Just see yourself, you stand, sneeze, try to sneeze and see how far from your location your droplets go. You can see it very well. No need of sneezing. If you just little cough or you just sneeze, you will understand you need 27 foot, 27 means 9 meters or 1.5 meters or 1. This is very common sense. Means this always, every time some panic is coming out, people are not clear, and that's why result is that people are not able to understand real problem. Unfortunately, science is not also working properly. Science, which is supposed to know about this, is not working properly. They are swayed by other ways. They are not well determined. They are working, I am not saying, but it's out of way due to mix-up of politics, mix-up of science, mix-up of politics, and mix-up of panic. Everything is getting impacted. It's whole world that is suffering. Even those countries which are hot, they are confused because people are moving from here to there. Now you think those Australians, those citizens, non-citizens who are staying in Australia, and they are about 1.2 to 1.5 million. They have to leave Australia immediately if they cannot afford for 6 months self-support. Australia government refused to help you. Though Australia is a hot country, but they are taking precautionary measures. If we don't want to help you in this stress, so better you leave. And you know who are there? Many countries people are there. West people, European people, Filipinos, and you can say Chinese and Hong Kong. Australia is here to them. So, and maybe our people, if they are not permanent resident, they have to leave that country. And many other countries will follow suit. It happens. And so it means we are living in a different world. It's not that world people expect it belongs to everybody. We are living in an indifferent society now. Means you take your own care, and that's very important. And we are also suffering here. I have seen many videos yesterday regarding poor people who have been locked in and have no food to eat. And this is really very irresponsible conduct by state. You have forced people to stay in, they don't have money to eat. What shall they eat? It's not a question. This is a burning question. This should be a burning question for every one of us. After all, we are all human beings. And moreover, we are an emotional nature. We are an emotional country. If we cannot think for these people who do everything for us, then we are in fact not human beings. It's duty of public, it's duty of state, it's duty of government to care about them. You just declare lockdown in 2 hours and you expect people to manage themselves. Those people who don't have money to eat, who cannot keep money for, who cannot keep food for 1 month, they just buy 2 or 3 days food and eat that, and they are now, many locations I've seen videos, 300 people somewhere, 3,000 people somewhere, 3 lakh people in some areas there. Nobody is there. Their company owners are not caring, government is not caring. Then maybe, if I am in their place, you think if you are in their place, maybe you have food for you, you are rich or you are middle class, you don't even take it seriously because you cannot determine anything. But remember, without those people, without those poor section of people, you cannot do anything in life, even if you are rich. Maybe you are rich, but how shall you work? Who shall support you? It's a big question mark. Shall government support them? Government is supporting no one, actually, no one. This is actionless government in our country, and other governments are working. America, they are working though they have failed. Russia is working though it has failed. Gulf is working. Of course, they are little successful. They are paying money to their people, citizens. They are taking responsibilities. Saudi is taking responsibilities of free test for everybody. Even you are from other country, they will test you. Even you are illegal, they will test you. What else you want? If state takes your care of testing, mandatory testing, you have to pay nothing. What else you want at that time? We are not even testing everybody. Shame on to us that we say we have very little cases. You are not testing anybody. How can you say you are having minimum cases? Who knows there will be crores of cases? Who knows that? Nobody knows that. If you test, you will know this. Is it not a fact that we are taking it too lightly? We are taking it too lightly. Just lockdown is not enough. Testing is also mandatory. Because there are people who were having no symptoms in many countries, but later on they were found suffering from that, affected by that. Many countries have declared. They did not develop any system, but later second time test proved positive. What you do? First time, even they were saying youth are not affected. Youth are also being affected. It doesn't see youth or old. If your immune system is not strong, you will be affected. You may be youth or you may be very old. If immune system, you don't have any resistance in your body and you think youth are strong, nowadays youth are not strong at all. Youth who does everything, can he be strong? No. They don't walk, they don't take sun, they don't do anything. They just enjoy comfortable life, using AC rooms, AC cars, drinking, all that. How can you be immune? They don't have immune power. They don't have immunity, resistance body. They don't have. Yesterday I just walked to buy something. I walked about 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers in sun. I feel very pleasant because I was in room for 11 days. I had to bring something. I feel very pleased. At least I got some sun today. Though I sit outside my door for about 40 minutes, 50 minutes every day, around 2 to 3 or 4, so that I get some sun rays. It's better for your health. You should get. How can you avoid that? If you avoid that, you will avoid your body's power. Why this European is happening? England is happening. What's happening there? What's happening there? America, because they don't have sun. They have temperatures 10 degrees, 5 degrees. Europe, January is 0 degrees, 4 degrees, 10 degrees, maximum 20 degrees. So you think you will get with their bodies backed up? They are not getting their bodies backed up. We are getting bodies backed up, but we are running away from that. Only laborers are getting stronger. Millions, lakhs and crores of people walked on roads. They have reached somewhere, not somewhere. But did you hear in the news that they have been Suspect cases, they died, they lost their lives because of some other reason. Starvation or tired or the blood pressure or heart attack, but still there is no case that they were impacted upon by corona symptoms. That's what is. Yeah, they are strong. A person who can walk many hundred kilometers, some disease cannot affect that person. You walk yourself, some experience, sometimes you walk 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 10 kilometers if you can, you will, maybe if you are not used to walking, you walk just 1 kilometer, you'll get tired. If you walk 2 kilometers, you get further tired. If you walk 4 kilometers, you will be more and more tired. But if you walk 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 1 hour you walk, 1.5 hours you walk, you will really feel something. Maybe first day you feel tired, second day you feel tired, third day you will find because your joints were jacked, were packed, now they'll open. But after a few days you will feel, without that I can't stay, I have to move. That is what, because you are getting vitamin D through sun rays, you are getting many gases, you walk in air, you get many chemicals also, you are getting nitrogen, you are getting oxygen, you are getting argon. These are main basics. Nitrogen, 78% you are getting, 78% you get. Nitrogen means a gas that a gas that comes from plantation, that is nitrogen. You get then a combination that you are getting oxygen 21% and point some particular organ and many others. So you are taking that as a food, and that's heated up, not cold. So you get something you don't understand. In addition to food, you are getting chemicals that makes your body. That's why I say walking is best exercise, though. It may be exercise, no, but you are building up your body. That's more important. And when these people go to some other countries, they take sun baths. Why? Because they want value of sun. So nature is there. Now see, no vehicles are moving, no trains are moving, no buses are moving, industries are closed. Everything I see difference in pollution levels. This means we are causing pollution every day, right? Everything is closed down. Flights are not going except cargo flights. Trains are not moving except goods train. And factories are closed, industries are closed. Means there is no way carbon dioxide or methane or ethane or something else is entering atmosphere. So atmosphere is getting cleaner. This is just a effect of 2, 1, 3 weeks. Not here, everywhere. Where there was lockdown, means you can say on average 1 month, you can say for last 1 month, pollution is getting off. Maybe it's pushed into space, who knows, because of some. Every day we add to that. We add every day. When in working day, when means we are fully working day, industries work, factories work, we drive 35 crore cars in our country, maybe 2 billion cars all over the world. So pollution gets more and more strength, more and more powerful, more and more density, more and more turbidity, and we say we are not able to take breath. Now you are not having that level of pollution. Maybe you are feeling something different, but it's also possible life cannot move like this. But at least you can reduce use of these facilities. It's not necessary drive car all day for every work or scooter every work. You can up to 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer. If you have time, you can walk. But everybody has no time. Everybody is busy. That is a complaint. I don't have time. They have to time to drink whiskey, to go to club, to go to gymnasium, and to do everything, to go to birth party, to go to marriage ceremony, to go where they have time for everything, but they don't have time for health building. So we have to now think different way. A corona is a teacher actually. It may be defective for us, but it's also good for us. It has taught whole world that your living must change. You change your living style. And even if we cannot understand now, we can never understand because nature teaches this way. It's telling you, keep air clean, use only where required, and they are telling industries, take care, you are worst in whole world, you are polluting everything. So it's up to us. Aliens will not come to tell us what to do, what not to do. The aliens won't come, they never come. Corona, you can say, is an alien. It has come in invisible form to tell us. So God gives you both affirmative as well as negative answers. So God is telling you, I am there, to take your care of letting you live or letting you die. Both care I take. So I am now teaching you how to handle life. America is being taught. Be careful, America. Don't think you are there. I am also there. Look at me. What I expect you to do. Help world. Don't be selfish. Most selfish country in world is America. It is fact. It is not criticism. It's a fact. Most greedy, most avarice, most business mind country is America. Second was England. Other was European Union. These people only think in terms of business, how much we are getting from others. They use to sell their weapons to others so that others kill each other. What else they do? What else they do? You think so? America, England, Russia, France, all these countries have business to let other kill, create dispute between some two parties, three parties, and enjoy by selling weapons. This is basics of America and all these countries. And now all these weapons are not working for them. What is working? They are not able to handle this problem. If these are superpowers, veto powers or other powers, they should have capability to handle, but they have failed entirely. Entirely they have failed because mindset is different. They never expect that nature is there. They never think nature can threaten us. We have seen when there's a small tornado, a small cyclone, a small flood, these people fail because they are not used to such kind of problems. They only see who is our enemy in this world and kill that enemy. This is their basic concept, nothing else. They want freedom only for them, not for others. You can kill someone else, but keep them free, keep them safe. Whole world has changed. This is the first time that God knows, teach everyone something. Everybody, every country. But we have seen those countries which are very poor, which are having no economic basis, they are not very much affected. They were previously affected also. African countries were affected. Sometimes famine, sometimes Ebola, sometimes something else. Sometimes whatever was there, they were affected. But in this case, they are not very much affected. They are affected to some extent because of import of this corona, just like Bharat is affected because of import, not because of origin. Because of origin, we have no such problem. Imported from other countries, we are having this problem. Arab is having this problem because of other countries are coming to them a lot frequently. They are also affected that way, but number in that countries are also controlled in hundreds only. You can see in Muscat maybe about 200 cases. In same way in Saudi, UAE, you are not finding that they are reaching lakhs or millions of cases, though they have foreigners with them. Double than their population, they are foreigners. But if you see case of America, I think it's going to be around 1 crore. They are not telling. It may be more than 1 crore people affected. Who knows how many crores? And they have no solution. England is also in turbulence. Australia has taken precautions. South Korea is helping North Korea because North Korea declared nothing. And there are so many other countries. I sent a list of, I think, 15 countries till now which are not very much affected by corona. This means some people who are bad, you can say this way, bad people or sinners who do not care for humanity. People should take care of other humans. This is also a duty for everybody. If it doesn't mean you have collected wealth, you are powerful, don't forget your wealth is not because of your hard work. If there is a billionaire, that person is billionaire because of not hard work. That person did not excavate, that person did not do brickwork, that person did not do any hard work. But that person is billionaire because of supports, because of money they accumulated with them, they stored with them, because of their riches. Otherwise, no big industries, no top industries world can become top industries. They have used others, and others are subject to that because they want food. And these people have key and lock of food with them. They abuse poor, just like we are abusing. You just think of our country, what is happening now. We have about more than 50 to 70 crores people. They are poor. Poor in a sense, they work hard. They depend, their livings depend on daily work. You cannot hide this fact. You cannot withdraw from this fact. This is a fact. And also, that if these people are not there, you cannot sit in your built-up houses. You cannot enjoy your facilities. This is these people who are providing indirectly you, each and every citizen, high-class citizen, this facility. And these people, nobody is caring at the moment. You see, important fact is that government keeps silence. They just think, okay, sorry, it has happened. Sorry, it has happened is not answer from a government. I can't expect this answer. If the government says that, this means there is no government, it's not working. These people belong to this country and we are responsible for them in collective form. Public is responsible, then government is responsible. But these people have no food. You may say some NGOs are working, that's only, a drama. Go and see fact. Crores and crores of such poor are having no food now. Who is there responsible for that? Government is responsible. State, what we did? Nothing. Did government calculate what shall happen? No, they did not calculate. They can calculate something else. You are coming to stays, telling after 2 hours, go home and sleep. Everything will be okay. Take care for yourself for 20 days. Who shall take care? How shall take care? If I am living today because I am taking food, you are taking food, but do they have no right to take food? It is sheer failure of our machinery, entire national machinery. We may boast anything. We can boast anything. What happens by that? But you are not taking care of humanity. So why should Corona take your care? Entire world. Nobody cares about their poor people. You have money, you are enjoying. I did not see any rich people coming out of home and walking or even going to market. They are sending their servants, go to market and buy this. They are not even coming out because they have worry for their existence, not for others. Strange. If you are keeping people inside and they are not getting food, this is your responsibility. You cannot say no. But you have said virtually no. Practically you have not given them any food. And I am still very unhappy with this such kind of conduct by government or by people. If Red Cross is distributing some food, people say, it's Prime Minister's order. How can Prime Minister order Red Cross? Red Cross is an independent body. They just were interest in credit only. I should be given credit. I have seen rotis delivered by someone. It was written on that, Ab ki baar Modi Sarkar. On roti, it was written. It means affixed this on roti. Shame onto that person who did this. I don't know who did this, but on roti it was written. You want credit on this? I don't understand your mindset. Means chapati, roti. Have you ever seen something written like that? But they are delivering that. You want credit for food they are giving? By chance they are giving. They are not giving, somebody else is giving. But they want credit for someone because they are giving roti. Shame on all those who are involved with this type of action. That's why we are suffering actually. If you condemn humanity, you don't forget, if I am a construction of God, everybody is a construction of God. God's work. These poor people are actual power of this nation, and not only here, in every country. If such class of people are not available, then you have to do yourself everything. Why Americans, why English people, why others, they do the self-service because they don't have people. A carpenter, a mason costs £100 a day in England. £100, more than that. How many rupees? Because their economy is like that. Here, you just give 500 to 700 rupees, 800 rupees, maximum 1000. You get any number of masons, carpenters, steel fixers, welders or whatever. and you get 200, 300, 400 rupees, you get a helper, and before it was even 100 rupees, 200 rupees few years back. So it means you have freely manpower available, you abuse that. And those people also know that we are getting this much money, it's good for us. If I get 500 rupees a day, I get 15,000 rupees a month. So maybe everybody becomes mason, everybody becomes carpenter. They learn little here and there and they start working that. But no quality, no experience. I have seen hundreds and thousands of people coming going from here to other countries, and they do know nothing. Oh, I was working in the farmer, I was in the field. I know how do you come? How I came means I paid money and came. So it takes for them at least 1 year to learn. To learn there, because they paid money, they are forced to learn. So what I am telling is, we have to become human first. Don't forget, if you are not human, then God shall never be with you. You can tease poor, you can abuse poor, you can beat poor. But don't forget, if you are doing that against humanity, you are doing against you. Certainly. Because you are also human. And if you are turning animal, if you are turning to devil state, then you have to pay back one day. And there you shall be alone. No wife will be with you, no kids will be with you. You shall be alone. Don't forget that. And this is what is happening now. A teacher tells you that I am there as punishment for you, because I am not even telling you what I am. You shall know it after some time, when it goes away. Only then you can know what it was, and by that time another would come. Nature is very complicated in designs, and very easy also if you understand it, because we have to go to nature one day. So don't have false pride in yourself, comparative pride that I am big, you are small. You are big because you are made big. You are not big because of your own. If Birla is there, Tata is there, Ambani is there, they are there because of public, not because otherwise. They are not otherwise. If there is no public, there is no value for them. Bill Gates is there because public is there. If there is no public, nobody would use computers. Bill Gates will not be there. It is public that makes someone big. Otherwise, one cannot be big. Yes, your formula works. People like it. They buy your formula. You become rich. But don't think you are originally that. You are not originally that. Originally, everybody is same. So we have to think that way. If you think that way, we will become positive person. We will not harm someone. And this is result of harming that it is happening. We harmed air, we harmed water, we harmed humanity, we harmed our thoughts, and we are bound by some fictitious instructions from every religion, which is nothing but imagination. There is no proof till now that religions say that is confirmed. Everything is hypothetical, it's skeptical, imaginary, nothing is proven. Yet we are bound by them, we move by them without scientific basis, when nature is scientifically based. Nature is calculated based, calculations based, not otherwise. Systems cannot work if there is no mathematics. Complete system is working in nature, solar system is working, all other systems are working because of calculations, because of mathematical formulas. Otherwise they cannot work. Different speeds of our planets, axial speeds and orbital speed are there. Maybe you are not sure. I remind from time to time, on planet which we are seeing, that's called Earth, its diameter is 12,500 kilometers, a ball, solid ball. Just imagine only a ball, 12,500 kilometer diameter ball. It's nothing if you compare to size of sun, which is 13 lakhs kilometer diameter. 13 lakh 1.3 million kilometer diameter of sun, and we have 12,500 kilometer diameter. You see how many difference. How many earths you need to equal to diameter of sun, you calculate yourself, divide 13 lakhs kilometer by 12,500, you will see how many are there. If you have that number of earths and put at abutting each other, that will be the size of sun. So you are very small. Sun is only 15 crore kilometers from here. Only, I am saying only, because there are much more many more times from 15 kilometers Jupiter exists and other planets exist. So God made that design. You think God just did this and it happened? No, that is your thought. It's complete calculation. There may be, you have taken millions of years to calculate, calculation yuga, you may call it. Satya Yuga is there, Treta Yuga is there, and Dwapar Yuga is there, and you call it Kali Yuga is there. But in addition to that, there are so many yugs. I have explained this many times. I put this on websites, but people are not taking any interest because of it's a mathematical work, so it's imaginary work. If you count 0 to 9, it happens 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This means the sequence is there. Satya Yuga means 7th, and Treta Yuga means 3rd, Dwapar is 2. So where are 6, where is 5, where is 4, and where is, you can say 1, where is 9, where is 8? We have to understand that. There may be other eras when all these actions affected, like calculation, before that mathematics, education, teaching. Otherwise, these planets could not be designed, could not be collected, simply not designed. It's a collection of spheres. Collection, how to make it spherical with solid material. How to make it that. That's the point to think. You never think you are enjoying this facility of earth. You are not thinking how it is produced. We are enjoying it all our life. We don't even understand what is that. Why seas are there? In same planet, seas are there. In same planet, solids are there. In same planet, creatures are there. Air is surrounding this up to 20 kilometers, then up to 300 kilometers, then up to 500 kilometers. And after that, if you exit, you will enter real space, negative world. Vacuum. Up to 20 kilometers from sea level, you are in your air, in which your flights go. Flights go up to 10 kilometers. You just imagine how world was constructed. When you construct a small building, you need foundation, you need excavation, you need everything, without which building cannot be constructed. But here, no foundation. It's ball, but it's still hanging. It's not coming down, it's not going up. What does it mean? Just think of this. What this work is. This means this work is not stationary. This is moving. All planets are moving on their own axis as well as around sun. That is called orbital electron movement, orbital movement of planet as well as axial movement of planet. If you just for your information, I have done calculation on that, keeping mathematical formula, taking circumference, whatever formula is there, and taking spherical volume. If we calculate speed of earth on your axis, its axis, that is 1600 kilometer per hour. You don't feel that, but that is. It's more than flight, international flight. That's 900 kilometer per hour, and it's around sonic speed. You can say less than your Concorde of light. This is that. This is on its axis. I have calculated that, and also if you calculate around sun, earth orbits with what speed? Because it takes 365 days to orbit around sun. And if you calculate that, it shall be 1.25 lakh kilometer per hour. 125,000, 1,25,000, 1,25,000 kilometer per hour orbital speed of earth. You can imagine that. 1.2 lakh kilometers, you are moving with that speed, but you don't feel that. Just think, on this speed, 1.2 lakh kilometer per hour, even some small mountain comes from space and strikes earth at that speed. Your car is only 100 km per hour or maximum 200 km per hour in Gulf countries, which they enjoy. If something comes and strikes it, it imbalances and overturns and goes about 500 meters from that location, and person dies and car is broken, crushed. If it happens to earth, which is moving at 1.25 lakh per kilometer, per hour. If something comes and strikes it, where will you stay? You will be no more. Earth will be no more. But we enjoy only positive aspects. We don't even think of negative aspects. That can happen. If God wants, Earth can be destroyed in minutes. But He did not do that. It didn't happen for many millions years. I don't know exact what million people don't know, but we can only say millions or millenniums or whatever you say. Earth is safe. It has been safe. It's still working, and all planets are working. This means if your planet is moving on its own axis and orbiting Sun, it is an equilibrium, dynamic equilibrium, not stationary equilibrium. That is why the speed of every planet is different. Axial speed and orbital speed, sizes are different, distances from Sun is different. Because of all calculations, these planets have been set in such a way that they work without any clash between two. And clash is not possible because Sun is located 15 crore kilometers from here, and just imagine by chance you are located on Sun, though you are not there, you need 2.5 million kilometers of speed there if you want to enter Sun, otherwise Sun will absorb you. It's so much powerful. If you don't have that much speed, if you want to reach Sun, you need that speed, millions kilometers per hour, and there's no such vehicle till now that can reach there to move at such a speed, or it shall absorb your vehicle. So if you are standing on Sun and you watch towards Earth, what you think? What shall you see? You will not see Earth. You will see only 2 millimeter diameter. 2 millimeter means less than 1/4 of an inch. 1 inch is 25 millimeter, and I am saying 2 millimeter, 1/10 of an inch. You will see diameter or size. That kind of circle you will see from Earth, from Sun. I calculate, if you see just walking and see what size Sun is in some cloud way, you will not find more than 20 centimeter by naked eyes. So you can just take that scale, 15 kilometer, you make an angle, you'll see how much size of Sun is there. It's around 2 millimeter. So we are sitting in comparison to Sun on a planet which is scale wise 2 millimeters in comparison to size of Sun. So we have to think differently. It is science, it's mathematics that can teach you. It's not some joker or some pandit or some astrologer that can teach you. No astrologer forecasts that corona is coming. Did some forecast you? Anybody all over world from, did you know that something is going to happen? Nobody told. Now they are telling Rahu is here, Saturn is there, and this is all bakwas they are doing. They know nothing. This is business. So believe in science, believe in maths, believe in knowledge, because God is knowledge. Vidya, Ved, all this is knowledge. God is scientist, God is engineer, God is doctor, God is everything. Even no doctor in world today knows exactly what mind is about, what's brain structure, how it works, what is Atma. They do not know. They only know, yes, this is happening. No doctor has told so far, confirmed so far, what is Atma, how it works in body, how it leaves body, and how it enters body. No one has declared it till now. Only imagination. They don't believe that, but they accept that in personal life. In professional life, they will not tell you, I accept this. But when you talk to them in person, they accept it. So, because they are human as well, in addition to being professional. So, being an engineer, I think differently. I consider all this power or resource or source from nature. If I do something, I cannot do anything on my own. I cannot walk if God doesn't want to walk, because this is body. Everybody has this body. This should be functional all the time. If one part of your body stops functioning, you cannot work, you cannot move, you cannot live. Therefore, do not have undue false pride that we are everything. This, when you think so, then God feels that this person has gone out of my control, so He will take back your control by such types of actions like corona. Previously, TB was there, cancer was there, and so many diseases come. They want to teach nature. Nature wants to teach everybody that do stay within controls or you lose everything. So that's why my explanation means we are standing on a venture, we are standing on a silver lining division that we have to keep ourselves recontrol. Don't run behind wealth only. Wealth is one part of life, health is also one part of life, and knowledge is another part of life. We used to call before the health is lost, but we can wealth is lost, nothing is lost, health is lost, something is lost, and the character is lost, everything is lost. They were saying before, people are not doing this nowadays because they don't respect character, they don't respect, health. They want artificial health. That's the difference. So moral, there's no moral is nowhere. So character is nowhere. So we have to regain that. We have to recirculate that. That is important. That's masses all coming in naturally in this scenario that we have been facing now. So we have to little change ourselves. Wealth is there, but it can't help you. Can you get treatment of corona? There is no treatment of corona. You may have billions of rupees, but you can't use that for this purpose. This means money is also limited in its final use. Ultimate, it's only an exchange, it's only useful for you when everything is normal, otherwise it will not help you. So don't have much undue pride of wealth, because wealth is not yours. You have to live one day. But character goes with you, moral goes with you, and maybe knowledge goes with you, because that is stored in your Atma or in your hard disk mind. So I'm not that type of person who explains for nothing. I'm giving logics behind that, because respect all those who help you. If I am some person professional, I cannot do everything myself. Particularly that work which is physical, which no one on an individual basis can do. But that work which is in my control, which I am to do only, I can do that, just like a doctor can do that. But at one stage, doctor also requires some tests, some prescriptions, and some tablets, some medicines which others produce. If medicines are second, expired one, it will not work. If X-ray machine is not working, doctor can't say anything. If test reports are not correct, doctor can't say anything, because in that case, degree of dependence comes in. Similarly, in every field, there is degree of dependence on others. There is no absolute independence that required. No professional can do that. Judge also decides based on evidences and circumstantial evidences. Similarly, everybody is dependent on others. So when you are that, we have to take care of those who support you. If I get support from poor people in my work, or other people who are directly or indirectly poor, so I have a duty to help them where I can. And this is not for me, this is for everyone, all you, whoever are there. But due support, not undue support. I am not saying do whatever they want, do whatever is due to them. That is most important. And also this is a message to those leaders who call themselves politicians, who actually are responsible for all these impacts, all world leaders. They call world leaders, but at this stage no one is world leader. There is no capability contained by any leader that can be said that you are a world leader. They did not take action in time. Everybody is saying now Trump failed. Everybody in all countries is saying Trump failed. Trump ignored, they say. He did not take timely action. Their people are saying, we are not saying. He did not take, he failed, and still he is failing, because controls have gone out of his bound. He cannot recall those and take control. So it's happening. If America can fail, why you can blame UK? If you can fail, why you can blame EU? And EU can fail, then why you can blame someone else? We have also failed, but we are not showing. How many of us have been tested? We don't have mechanism, we don't have system to test. It's duty of state to test everybody. Maybe I am having, how I know if I am not tested? Even though symptoms are there, they say you can be positive. First time you test, you may negative. Second time, if you are tested, you are positive. So this means we don't have facilities. All countries do not have facilities. Those countries are also there who sustain everybody. Take example Iran, which is considered means a stupid country, you may say, but they are testing everybody. South Africa tested so many people, not all, but a major portion they tested. And they are ready to help North Korea, which is different country, which is not actually a country, just a Jabardast country. So they are helping them. Means we failed. We have 1 billion or more population. We have not tested. We are having very small 8,000 tests per day. You think that's right? 1 billion people, more than 1 billion people, and we are having facility of 8,000 only. So how many years it will take to test? You think of. If you divide 1 billion by 8,000, what result is there? Means we are also in same sphere, nonsense sphere. No worry for people. If half public die, there is no worry to government. If half public have no food, there is no worry to government and to people. They are enjoying. Those who are enjoying, they are middle class people, lower middle upper, they are enjoying. They don't worry. Okay, everything. They are sitting in home, watching TV, doing something, work on computer. Only sufferers are those people who help to build your houses, who help to run your factories, who help to help your industries. Those people have been suffering, and they are more than 30, 40, 50 crores. And I feel pity. I blame myself as a part of this country that we are not doing anything for them. I expected something public and government to do for them. Nothing is happening. Only game, game and game. That's nonsense. We should think scientifically and we should act scientifically. Science has done everything till now, not your faith. If these structures are available because of science, if buildings are available because of science, if flights are running because of science, if trains are running because of science, factories are because of science, agriculture is because of science, it's not because of worship. Worship is there for you, not for world. You can worship, it's up to you, but worship is no product. It doesn't give anything except mental peace. Yes, you can get mental peace, but if you work and get success, that's super mental peace. This worship is mental peace, but work, if you do successfully and if you achieve something good for all, that is super mental peace, and that's why you call work is worship. God itself says, do work, don't run away. God says or no? In Gita what it says? What Ram says when Lakshmana asks Ram something? What's your future? What Ram answers? Ram said, whatever you do today, your future depends on that. There is no fortune, no luck. When Ram says that, when Krishna says that, what is your value and my value? And what is value of these Pandits and Brahmins who says astrology everything, forecast everything, worship is everything? Nothing. Work. God works. When Krishna says, I am here, I am not required to work, but still I am working. This gives you a lesson which we forget. We forget lessons. But for Krishna, what was a work? Mahabharata was a work for him. That you have to kill all these, and we cannot kill them by like doing, showing some science. Because they are human beings, they have to be killed by some force, and that's why he had a plan to kill them in his schedule and kill them. That's what is required. Have faith. Nobody says don't have, but faith is secondary, not prime. There are so many acts in faith itself. Karam Kand you call, or whatever Kand you call, after all there is activity. This actively based. So you are doing that activity also to reach that completion of faith. That's not also free of binding, but that is a shop for someone and faith for someone. For Pandit, for Brahmin or Pujari, who administers for you, for him it is money making. For him it's only money making. But for you it is faith. For this Pandit is no faith. A charger who charges your light on that body, that Pandit has got nothing, really his job for him. For him it's no sentiments, nothing. But for you it is sentiment. You have to think that way scientifically. That is a traditional person. In that every day he does 10 charges your chitai, your funerals. For him it's money making business. For you it is sentimental. This is difference. On your sentiments they are earning. So it's a difference. You cannot take faith complies with that. Faith has no use only to a person. If you worship God, but don't commercialize it. Don't publicize it. This is not acceptable because God is not for sale. You want to sell, they want to sell. Well, I don't want to reach that level of religion which is not reliable actually. Religion is your life. You have to serve God. What they say, what God says, you do whatever you want to do it in my name. Simple message from God is that. Don't think that you are doing this because you are nothing. You have no control in your body. You do not know when shall you come to me or when shall I send you back again or why I sent you. You didn't know that. So you do your job in my name so that even if you make mistake, it will be called my mistake, and if you make some success, it will be called my success. Do not try to take any credit or debit on your own. This is message of God very clear. Why you worry about something? Means why you want to please God when God clearly says, I am calculating, I am checking, I am considering your balance sheet. Don't worry. It's me, it's my work that I am doing through you, through your body, through your arms. It's my energy I am giving you. So why are you so much worried? What I am saying is if Corona has come, it has to go. It has to go one day. It has to go one day. Everything comes and goes. You have to come, you will go. So everything, why to be so serious about that? Let be mind free, but learn, receive classes of this Corona teacher. That's why it's checking. Nothing can happen without God's power, actions, God's decisions. हम ही कहते हैं ना पत्ते पर. I don't know what they say. Whatever you say that it's not possible to do anything without God's orders. We say in our culture. That's true. So it has also some relation to earth people. I am saying earth people because earth is Bharat. In fact, we may know it, we may not know it. It is a fact. When it says in the first line of that 4 lines said Yada yada hi dharmasya. What is that? Yada yada hi dharmasya galani bhavati Bharat. Their word is used Bharat. It's not used Prithvi, but Bharat is Prithvi. We have to take it that way. Means we have to be more powerful in our statement rather than squeezing ourselves to this map of power. Sometimes it was all Bharat. You should imagine that way. It doesn't harm you. So God will not come only for our people. God will come for all world. And that's why all world is affected. This is an evidence that God is working. You are not understanding, I am not understanding, but God is working for whatever people are there on them. Some are being killed, some are being sick, some are afraid. It doesn't make any effect on God. It doesn't make any harm to God, and we are no one to think that way. So relax, I would say. This will pass out. Nothing is permanent forever, but it will take with it so many people because they have to go. I can also be included in that. I am not very pure. I may have done so many sins in my life. I don't know. Or maybe I know some. So if I reach that level where I am also deleted, I will be deleted. What's wrong with that? Every person is deletable. Delete me, finish. Why to worry about that? One day you have to go. So be ready all time to go. This is simple message. But change door has come for future, and it's for everyone to learn this. Life has to change now. We have experienced that if we don't use all facilities, pollution is affected, it is defeated. What else you say? Canal in Italy, Venice, which was always very turbid because it was used for transportation of ships and big boats, is very clear now. Its water content is very clear because of sedimentation of particles of sand or silt in that. All down, there's no movement, no turbulence, water is a standstill, and they see water is clear. And they are happy with that, though it will not remain clear when you remove all these lockdowns. It will come up again. Pollution will be again same level when you open everything. Though it's only momentarily that we are happy, pollution levels are reduced. These are reduced. This means if you reduce your facilities, you will certainly get better air. If you say reduce to half, you will get half pollution. Half you can achieve it. Means every work is to be half. You can use half industry work, half factory work, with quality of course, and you can use driving half. If you can, but it's very, very difficult. It's very difficult because every country is thinking now of economy all over the world. Europe is worried, England is worried, America is burning, China is reinstating itself, though it's worried. All countries are badly, adversely impacted by economy. They were jumping before. For last 3 years, America and China had been on war, economical trade war, balance of trades. They were worried about balance of trades. Now Trump, you worry, ask for $200 trillion balance of trades payment from, everything is lost. Companies are closed, businesses are closed. And when something is closed, it's very difficult and time consuming to raise that. You think economic reinstatement is so easy? All flights are down. It has crumbled everything. Wherever you are jumping, you are rising. We are thinking is earth is ours. We are owners of this. We have to think of GDP. We have to think of that. Where has that thinking gone? Question is of survival. Forget economy. People are thinking how to survive. There are people, leaders who have gone twice to isolation. Such people are there. It has reached to that level where controls are there. Hence, we should remember there is fathers of father there in skies, in heavens, I would say, who is your guide, who is your controller. And if you defy that, you will defy your life. You will lose everything. No one is here forever. We are only for some time. So we have to keep whatever is given to you, to us. Air was pure, earth was pure, everything was pure. Our souls were pure, but now everything is polluted. So time to time, nature and God teach us. We are not doing right. This is warning sign and warning sign to whole world, because sins have been committed in this world. Crores of people have died in this century, last century. It was by Hitler or it was by US in terms of allied forces. 28 countries damaged, attacked on Iraq. Do you remember? There was a fight between Iraq and Kuwait. Maybe many of you do not remember. There was a bi-nation fight for something, for oil reservoir use. Kuwait claimed something on that reservoir, and also Iraq claimed something on that reservoir, and there was some stealing of oil. They were having disputes with that. and there was attack on each other. So because Kuwait could not see that America was involved, and America involved another 27 countries, and they destroyed Iraq. I worked in Iraq for 2 years. I know what Iraq was. I know what quality was theirs, how good people they were, how they took care of their people. They, they treated their people humans. They provided them free education, free houses, mandatory military service. So when you get free house, free education, many of your life's problems are solved. If we get here free house and free education, what shall you feel? And then they got jobs after that. So those people took care, but this was not problem for America. Problem for America was oil. That America at that time, in name of weapons of mass destruction, that was an excuse, because this was a fictitious design, and they destroyed Iraq. After having destructed Iraq, they did not discover anything there. They did not find any weapon of mass destruction, but they looted oil. They looted oil from there. Immense oil. Unlimited oil. Iraq is poor now. They have nothing. They are fighting for survival because of politics. Wealth they have lost. There is problem in Basra. There is problem in Baghdad. There is problem in Mosul. Kurdistan problem. Political problem. So countries are destroyed like this. When external powers interfere in some countries, they are destroyed. Libya is destroyed because of same reason. Because these were considered terrorists by America. Libya, Gaddafi and Iraq, Saddam. They were considered terrorists, though they were only produced by US. What this guy, you say, Gaddafi, Colonel Gaddafi, he was also very good to his people. Free education, free houses, whatever do free, but stay in control. Because he didn't listen to America. He never listened to America. He never listened to America. So what America did? America started buying oil from Libya just to torture it. So policy of America is very clear that it helps you only when you exchange help. You reciprocate. If you don't listen to me, I am powerful, I am superpower. If you don't listen to me, I will torture you. It is a straight journey of oil from Libya to crossing Atlantic, Mediterranean, Atlantic and reaching US. Minimum shipping. But it is cheaper for America, but stop buying oil from it. So what happened? Economy went down. Libyan's economy went down. No money. No money there at that time. He started paying remittances to people. I was there in 1983-84 in Libya. So remittances for foreigners were reduced, and they were not allowed to buy something, electronic item, sold item. Means no development. No US people, British people could enter that country, but unofficially used to come because of oil. I met many British there in flight. They say, yeah, we are coming on this documentation, it's not on passport, because refinery work and all other works where oil is conducted, all is treated, technology is required, and that technology is patented one, they don't give license. So it was America. Later on what happened? Libya has nuclear technology. They had many powers at that time because of many connections with other countries. So America blackmailed it. He said to him, I will attack your country. Listen to me. Give me all these weapons. And I think that Gaddafi acted weak in this position because of internal reasons of politics. People from there used to leave and go to America to complain, this man is bad, this and that. They wanted him to be killed. This happens in every country when you have opponents and people. Every Libyan people say, we drink oil. I told many Libyans I worked with them, say, you are rich, you have oil. I drink oil. They used to say that. Means they were fed up. So America forced Gaddafi, and Gaddafi submitted to them, okay, take these weapons. He gave all weapons to America at that time. And what happened follow up that? America shot him dead. America shot him dead and took over control of Libya through some representative, and still that control is working. Still that control is still in 11, now it's 20. Still that national government, so-called recognized government, is America supported. How countries are taken care of. Same thing Iraq, it was taken over America. When you do all this, millions of people were killed in Iraq. And same thing, people are being killed and they were killed. Such a big Libya is now partitioned. One side is controlled by some army men and one side is controlled by civilians. Civilians are supported by America and army men are rebellions, Gaddafi's colleagues. So this is one country but two rules, two governments, and always they fight with each other. So country is every day being destroyed, and what is because of reason of America. America's job is to kill others, to sell its weapons. This whole Arab knows. Actually, whole Europe knows that, but Europe is also involved in that. France is involved in selling weapons. Russia is involved in selling weapons. Many other countries are doing that business with other countries, and we Asians are working, are earning money to give to these countries because they give us weapons. This means this is a triangle of humanity where one person is earning and one person is pulling in name of weapons. Sell. So we are not working for God, we are working to kill each other. We are working every day. We earn, and my money goes to what? To buy weapons. Because we have some enemies. We have to keep ready for that. This is where my work is going on, my hard work is going on, and your hard work is going on. So we are ready to kill each other. That is philosophy of earth. And if we don't kill each other, countries like America, England will not stay, will not exist. Because their hunger is extinguished only by your money. Today, what is doing? Coming. There is no way America can escape it. Most affected today is America. I knew they will affect number one. Last one somebody asked me, see, you are talking of Italy, you are talking of that. Number one shot will go to America. It's happened. More than 7,000 have already died. Maybe they are telling that, maybe 10,000, I don't know. Because those people have false prides in them. And false pride means action against you. I am not blaming an individual. But when your time comes, you even forget what action you should take. And this is what they did. He did not act timely. American administration did not act timely. They were busy in trade war with China. They were busy in their own impeachment. They were busy in coming to India somewhere else. They wasted that time. And now they are suffering. Same thing, we wasted time and we are suffering. And same thing, Europe wasted time and they are suffering. Europe has become mad. Today you can say Europe is mad. America is mad. They failed. This is madness that they failed because they are not suited for failure. Everything should be successful. They can't digest failure. World thought Europeans are very intelligent, brilliant people. World thought that. But it is not proven now. Americans are very great, superpower and super intelligent. They have failed. They cannot digest this failure. They can digest loss of money, no problem for that. They suffered economical lockdown in 2008. They suffered that, but we supported them. Our country supported them intellectually. Our Manmohan controlled that. Fact is that. So they digested that. But this situation is not controlled by money. This situation is not controlled intellectually. That's different. This is related to health. But see state of America and Europe, and these were fighting, England and European Union, they've been fighting for 3 years. England thought, I am king of all world till. They could not decide for themselves whether to stay with Britain, the EU or not to stay with the EU. 3 years they wasted in that, rather than thinking of how to go ahead. So God put them in such a situation. America, you do that. England, you do that. European Union, you do that. And all this belt from Atlantic and Canada, America, and all up to Russia, Iran collapsed, completely collapsed. Though it may have started from somewhere, but ultimate effect has gone to this one. Because this was designed by nature, this portion has become useless, means they don't respect me. They don't think I'm something. So what has happened? You have seen worst situation in Europe. They don't even know where people are dying, you see. They did not understand that there are people in nursing home as well. So nervous they are. So nervous. These countries are called intellectual countries, dynamic countries. They give cars, new designs, many philosophies they give, many formulas they give. They are respected world over. Europe, they have given new codes after working on 25 to 30 years on them, 40 years on them. But they could not value their health. They could not value that. England thought, I am everything. England separated from you, thinking that we shall have new passport, we shall are on parliament, we don't want to trust in European parliament, despite they were with EU for 47 years. They divorced after 47 years, and still it's ongoing. But both are suffering. Both are suffering. News is that, I don't know, maybe 4 million jobs are going out in America and in Europe, maybe more. And our jobs, you know how many. So you can say crores of jobs are going to be out now currently. So it will impact on people. No jobs, no earnings. What shall we eat? And affected are middle class. Most affected are middle class. And when these classes are affected, all businesses shall be affected. It's complete supply and non-supply chain. Laborers will be affected because factories will be affected. Industries will be affected, so laborers will be affected. Means complete slump of economy, and which is very dangerous situation. Slump economy, when people have no work, those middle class who are just living because of jobs. Well, I'm not talking of other people, they have money, riches have money, businessmen have money, they can digest maybe 1 or 2 years, no work for them, they can digest. But those who are exclusively dependent on jobs, like lower middle workers, working class, they cannot digest that. Either they will involve themselves in crimes, or they will commit suicide. Because everybody has to pay some EMI. I think 90% people are there bound by EMIs, and no one can waive them. No country is that rich. No country is that rich that you can forgive all. Okay, if some rare cases are there, can be waived off. But if everything is there, everybody shall fail. And IMF policy forecast, UN has forecast that coming times are very difficult. We don't have any power that can reunite whole world in this way. So they will keep being, for example, America is suing. It's just news, means they have no power to sue. But we are suing Europeans, we are suing China. They have just decided China is responsible for that without having any basis, without anything. I'm not with China of someone, but until you are clear, because you want to transfer some blame to some other. You are not calculating that you are wrong. Why were you not giving? Why did not act precautionary measures? Why did not take that? What is sleeping? You had been sleeping. You are thinking of vacations. You are thinking of something else. Because the habit of Europeans to move around world in their vacations. It's habit of all these people because they want to enjoy life. Enjoying life is very important for them. English people enjoy life. It's very important for them. And we enjoy full, they say like that. We enjoy full 100%. We never act serious. So they are busy in that. They remain busy in that. They think all centuries are same. They forget that other countries' students, other countries' intellectuals, other countries' scholars have also come up. They forget that. And when you ignore someone, you ignore yourself. Don't underestimate others. Our problem is that we don't use our value. We don't confine to our knowledge. We try to copy others. This is our problem. Despite we have intellectuals, despite we are brilliant, despite we have courage, we are not having potential to expose ourselves to world. We are timid people. We are not free-minded people. And we are swayed by suppositions. We are swayed very well. Others are also swayed, but not like us. We are swayed totally. We do not have any room with us to think. That's our defect, our weakness. I accept that. We are weak society in thinking, though we are very intelligent. I don't think there's any country except China where strength of people is that high that we have. Even America is lapsing because America is a country which keeps a pool of imported people. America has got intellectuals from all over the world. And that's why they jump, that we can pay money and we can buy everybody. That's their basic thought. And many other countries like Gulf countries, they also think that way. We can pay and we can buy. So they have their own intellectuals which are just having degrees. And you know how degrees can be purchased in West. And they have power to purchase. If you talk to them, maybe you will find only 2 or 3% who know actually what is work, what is knowledge. Others are only certified. So there are only few countries where people are real knowledge people. So what I am saying is, time is changing. We have to recognize this fact. This fact must be recognized and must be kept in view by everybody. Otherwise, we will lose something. This is time we have to learn, not only citizens, senior citizens or adult, it's for students. Also young who are now in the stream of moving forward, they have to start learning. Don't waste your time. Time never comes back once it is lost. Don't exclusively depend upon that you will get some jobs in future. Try to do something else. Try to learn some technology. Try to learn some skill in addition to your educational degrees, because England people are not very well educated but they are good in skills. The European peoples are not having very big certificates but they are having technical skills. These technical skills make them everything because they know job, they work by hands. But our people are not taught like that. We take jobs done by hand as second class. People consider them labor class. That's not true. Just for example, you are middle class and you are having big degrees, you will not like to do labor job. You will like to do a job in saying, oh, I'm not technician, I'm officer, I should be officer, I should be top level. But what officers do? That is a question. What actually they contribute? Nothing. What our politicians do? Nothing. Our working class is engineering and medical. Engineers are also not doing what they should do, unfortunately, because they have turned themselves as administrators rather than being engineers. That's lost to country. Half of engineers go to management, half go somewhere else to IAS. So where are engineers left? Only in government, and in government you know what work is there for engineering. There's no work in government that can be said of is engineers' work. So engineering is, and some go outside. For decades they stay there. So then there is no engineering. So how can we move forward? And you know status of doctors can work. They are hardworking people, it is clear. But if they are facilitated, if they are valued, means we have to re-establish ourselves, reorganize ourselves, and only public can do it. Don't depend on politicians. Politicians this time has proved worthless, absolutely worthless. All politicians, I am not blaming government involved politicians or others, all politicians have done nothing for people this time. Other countries are at least doing, they are thinking how to help public. Here nobody is doing that, just enjoying lockdown, do this and do that and do this and do that. They are not serious, and they can never be serious because they know nothing. They have no solid program with them. They do not know how to tackle this problem, and that's why we are unfortunate to have such level of politicians. And when politicians do nothing, then public has to become politicians itself. So we have to do our life ourselves. Do not depend upon this useless community of politicians. That I clearly say, because we made a mistake. We never thought for nation, we thought for some individuals, and we lost it. We are facing consequences of that loss. Humanity is dying by human itself. It's being killed by human itself. So there is no other way except to take an excuse that we should change everything. Once we have a chance to change, you have to change your education, your mindset, your future growth, and what you want to do. With that, I stop talking about this specific subject, which is very urgent. On top of everything, I consider in this time this subject of corona, though it's corona, but it is general also, because we have to take lessons from this. It's very important lesson. I think it's an opportunity. When somebody says risks are there, risks never come individually and singly. These bring with it opportunities as well. So risks and opportunity are with us for future. We know who is good, who is bad, who helped this country, who helped this world, who did not help this country, who did not help this world, who are our friends or our enemy. We have known this very well. So we should do in future something that was never expected, never anticipated. So coming to now management of projects and projects management, because this is also management we talked of. This is very important management, to manage public, to manage nation, to manage world, manage health and manage everything, and manage economy. Management of construction, real world, where 70% of budget goes to, and that 70% of budget is ruined by certain hands in our system. That hands must be made powerless by ourselves. That hands must be cut off and other hands be reassembled. This is what I say. It was until now taken very non-seriously. Systems of quality, systems of management. We need quality everywhere, just like quality in personality, quality in performance, quality in individuals, and quality of nation, quality of thoughts. That must be made useful. If we have, maybe we had quality in everybody, but we ignore that. We never try to understand what one is. First we have to assess our quality, what I am, what you are. We have to review your own quality, and this is right time. You are free, still you are free. Maybe I don't know how many days. And even after that, you become busy. You can think for half an hour a day. Consider as a part of worship how to handle my life in future. Keep in mind money, but don't think money is everything. Money cannot help you from death. that can protect you from death? It cannot protect you from death. So money is one important and significant part of life, but other parts are also available. If you want to develop this country and whole world, we have to think that way. Raise our standards of thinking, raise our physical standards, and raise our mental standards, raise our quality standards. When I say quality, it includes everything. Because quality means even sitting is a quality, talking is a quality. How you talk to someone, you just make jokes, or you talk some seriousness, or you just raise your voice for nothing. We have to see that. For example, television channels are not quality oriented diseases. If you see long back, 40, 50 years back, what type of channels were there, you will find a difference. You will find a difference in journalists. You will find difference in those who are experts, commentators, expert advisors. You will find lot of difference in them if you compare them. But now it's not that. They are not of that quality. They are just barking, just bark, nothing else. This is because of public freedom to them. Public allowed them. I don't consider government here. Public used these channels and public freely allowed them to conduct their news whatever they wish. People never objected to them. So this is also part. I pay for news and for programs not because you should give yourself what you want to give me. You have to take public points in considerations because you are service providers. You are not my owners. I require news from all sectors of society, all fields of society, not to just you go behind some person all days or you criticize some all days. That is not sole purpose of television channels. You are not your own. We are paying you money. You are not doing free service. You have to give news from every section and right information. Otherwise, you are no more channels. You are just, you can say whatever. You should have quality. Similarly, there should be quality with everyone. That is most important. I am from some field, I will talk of that field. If you are from whatever field, you talk of that field. Selfishness must go. Public benefits, national benefits must be kept in front and decision must be taken that accordingly, not otherwise. I was confining my talks onto management, that is project management. It's wide definition. Many times I've given, you can consider your way, but for me project is in totality. Not construction alone, totality. From concept, or you can say from dream world to delivery world, means dream to delivery, that stages, that distance is covered in title of project management. It may be business, it may be factory, it may be industry, or it may be housing, or township, or whatever. That's a project. And when say project management, which includes cost, which is first factor, because without cost nothing is feasible. Cost is number one. Then time. If you don't have time, or if you cannot give time to something, cost doesn't come into its results, action. Your cost is that till that time. And that time we should say, this is my time, my project should start on this date, start functioning. That point is very critical to get. If you do your project before that, it's admirable, but that's very difficult. Like, impossible if you have not given due time. And from that, if you take more time, it's a loss to money. In fact, it's lost to returns delay. You are delaying returns. You are wasting returns. And then if these two are controlled, quality. If your product is not quality based, nobody shall accept that. By mistake, if they accept in first time, second time customer shall leave you and you shall lose customers. So these 3 points we do that for us, that cost, quality, time, these are prime considerable points for whatever management. And then there are other points like scope, what is the scope of your project, and what is, what you want to achieve actually, and what is supporting criteria, what sorts of resource you can manage, what sorts of technology you can manage, and all that, communication, etc. There are so many points, what risks are involved and what opportunities are involved, who are stakeholders, all that are given on some kind of document which is known as, you can say, charter or detailing, or who is responsible for what. That is charter we say in our management terms, but it's not necessary to say. You can give any name, but complete description is given on that. Complete description is given on that document. That is the master document, which is updated every week or every time, and there is some information available or some change affected. That starts from very beginning and continues until project is delivered. And this quality criteria means we have to consider in our work total process, activity, actions, and whole path. Whole path should be quality basis. Whole path from whatever item we consider, or whatever field we consider, and whatever discipline in that field we consider, that should be a package of quality. And if you do that, you will find that type of product as you designed and you intended to use that, and customer shall be happy with that. That customer expected that kind of service or use from that product, and this product is giving that. And if product is giving that continuously without any failure or without any damage and without any requirement of repairs, that product is valued much more than it does not. And that product is added value. You can say super product, people say best product, people say, somebody says something and somebody says something else. But problem comes when such products are assembled. Many such products are there, and they are assembled to some working machine or something else, and that other product does not work in consonance to this product, which is quality one, and there may be other defective one. So machine requires performance by every product, and then machine fails because of some other, this good one also earns bad name. So we have to keep that point in mind, that if every product is quality added, value added, those all products work together finely, so then the delivered machine is valued. That value must be maintained, but it's not easy. That's the problem. It's not easy to keep value to that machine all time. Certainly it fails somewhere, and we then say, oh, we have allowed warranty in this, or we have allowed this much to that one. That is a cover up. Why should you give warranty when your product is so good? This means you know your product is not reliable. Your product is going to be defective. That's why you already cover up. You have covered up your mistakes by this, and I'm happy that I'm getting warranty from you for 2 years or 3 years. But this means this is a declaration that your product is not valued one. Let us go further, not to stop at one point. What actually we expect? We expect perfection, So it's not possible. So we can say part perfection to some percentages. We can say, just we say this machine is efficient. How it is efficient? They say, okay, if this machine performs 60% efficiency or this performs 50% efficiency, so we can say, yeah, this is efficient machine, though it never performs 100%. Same thing, if your body is a healthy one, you say, oh, this person healthy because we have tested all these parts and these parts are within limits, so we can assume that this person is healthy. The person is not very well. Means there are some criteria of effects internationally that you just examine these points, test these points within this tolerance references, just like this a code says this, so this limit to that limit, and this person's report lies in this limit, so this is within that tolerance limit. Every report is like that in medical science, in engineering, everywhere. Range is available for every test, and we say product lies in that range, so it is admissible that person or the product is efficient or good or relies. So we are in that world of that type of management. We cannot deny that because that is standard, our standard or other standards. So those standards were revised by, particularly in civil engineering, European Union. So there are standards, American standards are there, our standards are there, British standards are there, and our standards are never original. We either copy from some other, routinely it has been practiced. Very few we have ours. It doesn't make a difference because we are ultimately using standards. Some other countries, no problem. But the European Union, which is they standardize themselves and do a lot of work in that. Of course, I can't say no. I've seen the codes and those codes are very good, means reliable codes, and they work a lot on that. And if you want a job in EU, you work there. If some country wants to contact there, you have to abide by European Union laws, codes, or you won't get job there. This is fixed. So we are forced to do that. Because UK was also there, they had to abide by that. But now they are diverse, okay? UK has its own codes, but European codes are different. I'm not biting them, so I've gone through that system. I'm not expert on that, but I have gone through something out of that. I know what is that. It's hard work, not copy paste. No, that is admiration. That is appreciation of that work. It's not copy paste. It is original work. If they could not do that, they allowed room for other nations. For example, we adopt European Union. We say, okay, for this purpose, we will abide by European Union codes. They have blank up something. They have given dotted line somewhere that this information we don't have for you. This information relates to geography of area, topography of area, climate of area. So you are free to fill in this. They are not saying you write this, you fill in that, and you circulate nationally that this is our adopted material, this is our adopted information. Nationally defined parameters, these are called, because we say we adopt European Union codes, but we write in that this is our information, nationally determined parameters. Or we can complete use that code in our name. We are adopting this code with these changes. There is no war to that. But unfortunately, we have failed till now. We have done nothing on those NDFs or PDs, published documents. We have not published anything so far because we are never serious. We just do hit and trial. American codes are far behind in civil engineering, and British codes are still old. Fact is that we are nowhere in those lines. We just try to take something from here, take something from, and put in here. And we say, oh, it's our code. That is our code, but not original code. We just pull people from unnecessarily from this institution, from that institution, from cement. They are not practical, but we put 500 names on that code. These are representative from these bodies, and they worked on, and they know nothing about that. This is our system. Unfortunately, non-professional system, but I am not administrator, I am not government. Government system is functionless. Not today I am saying. Since we got into, in beginning, institution of engineers was given this responsibility when IS was not available, Bureau of Indian Standards was not, or ISI was not at that time, Indian Standard Institution. Then that body, IEI, used to do that. But when this body came into this and it became statutory, they have been doing since that time, and we are just having documents only, and people don't know about that, what is written in document. No problem, document is there, experts must be knowing. So we have in every field, in industries, products, these are there. Lot of volumes of codes are there. Similarly in other countries, but they work on that, they apply those codes. That's important. Our difference is we just seal that code and that's it, our job is over. You will find ISI or BS seal, but quality of that material will not contain that parameter, that description, or that you can say capability. I can't explain everything. You know what character we have. We know everything we have. So quality cannot work if we are nowhere in standard power. We are nowhere in standard management. How can you achieve quality? You just tell me. When you don't understand what is the spelling of quality, we only say quality, but we don't deliver quality. That is our weakness. But field in which I am talking about, that is different field, which does not depend upon delivery of goods, which does not depend upon produced goods, produced goods, but on doing production itself. We produce majority of our items on field, on site. Our major item in industry of construction, in real estate, in infrastructure project, either it is RCC or PSC or structural steel, major structural items. RCC reinforcement concrete, PSC pre-stress concrete, or structural steel. This is rolled steel, beams and girders you call them, or previously we had brickwork or stone masonry. All these fields except structural steel, which is produced item from factories, from steel mills, and your reinforcing bars, steel bars, these are also delivered by these mills in produced forms. Others we have to manage production of. That is difference. Brick we get duly filled. The brick is not very important. It's not used all over. Stone masonry rarely we use. Timber now rarely is used. So major part remains with concrete. Concrete means not concrete alone, concrete with steel. Even if it is pre-stressed, it is concrete with steel. Of course, different types of steels, not steel bars, tendons, which is much more stronger than ordinary steel bars, tar steel or whatever steel you say. So we have to produce this concrete artificial stone material on our sites or in batching plants. That is very significant point because it embodies within it steel reinforcement. So both act together as same blood and family and serve that mechanism which is structural anatomy. This point, when you are manufacturer yourselves and you devise that product, you have two responsibilities. One is manufacturing and other one is product delivery. along with inserted items like reinforcement and other services items. So this responsibility is doubled in fact. It's not single, it's double. We are responsible for product as well as for product installation. Both are your responsibilities as engineers all over the world, not over here, all over the world. So one way we should draw pride in this, and on other way we have to share absolute responsibility of that item which we never understood so far, that responsibility. And that's purpose that we have to keep graduate ourselves seriously, because I call graduation doesn't mean this is degree graduation, this is marking your calibration. Every engineer has to calibrate itself. What is my rise? What mercury, which level it reaches to? We have to measure our pressure, our rise, just like mercury rises in thermometer. We have to calibrate our potential, our capabilities, not in terms of engineering degrees, but in terms of engineering capability, engineering attainment, engineering performing quality. That is what is required. When we say professional engineer, it doesn't mean degree engineer first of all. When we say chartered engineer, it doesn't mean degree engineer only. That's a part of qualification. There are other characters, properties, performing power, performing levels in everybody to do and deliver activities. That is called attainment. You may be 50 years experience, 40 years experience. If you did nothing in your life, in government service over here, you do just repetitive activities, no research, no innovation, no thoughts on to improve, then you are not in that class which I am talking. I am talking of a distinguished technical class, completely distinguished people who use their minds and skills to always upgrade, remain updated, and apply that update to works and get further update on that. I'm talking of that sort of professionals who add to world development by their own acts, who contribute to develop and deliver quality systems and quality product. That type of persons we need. We had such type of persons, and we shall have that also. We do have now, but if they are barred from doing that, it's not their fault. It's fault of system. It's fault of governing management and public management. It's fault of that. If public is not interested in quality, no one can help that public. If public just wants to see something which is not very efficient, nobody can help someone. You are engineer or doctor because you did something, you studied and got that. But if you are not given an opportunity to develop that, you cannot get that. Okay, doctor profession is different. They will be given opportunity under force because everybody is patient and people shall become patient and they need service of doctors. But in engineering, it's necessary that people need you always. Once you have a house, they don't need you. Once you have industries built, you don't need you. They need you only. Means access of public in scale, in quantity is much different for an engineer than a doctor. Doctor is always required by each and every individual of public. Advocate is rarely required. Chartered accountant is always required for business people, not for an ordinary man. And company secretaries are required for companies, but doctors and nurses are required for health. And civil engineers, I think, are not required at all. That is also a fact in our country. I think only certification is required. Certificates are required, not person. So we have to be alert. We are very hardworking people, intelligent people, seek always to do something, but that can be done only when opportunity comes your way with risks. When there is small building, nobody cares for engineers. When there is small house, small one, villa or something, oh, don't worry, why you need engineer for that? They seek as if they are talking something very differently. Engineer is not for small house, engineer is only for high-rise building or for big plant projects. People think that way, which is wrong conception. Which is very wrong conception, because they don't understand what they are talking and what they are missing. That's only purpose. I want to share my knowledge, my conception with people. Then don't ignore someone. Maybe you don't want to pay money, that's different. I'm not talking about that. You pay money or you don't pay money. But question is, if you take services, professional services, when you construct your house or something else where you invest money, you buy material on a person who is not expert, and you do your building construct like that, you will not understand what you have missed. You will be happy I have done this, but you have done it rightly or you have done wrongly, you won't be clear about that. It's same thing, you go to buy some vegetable and come back. For you, it's vegetable. Everybody can do that. You can buy from everyone. That's where we fail. There is engineer not because he wants to be engineer. He is engineer because he wants to serve public. But if public says, no, we don't need you, what shall he do? His efforts will go waste, and that is the reason that engineers always used to be in employment wherever they are. Because first you need food. And if there's no job, no public practice, so they will be in your employment only. And employment, then you know there's a restriction for everyone. Those who employ you, they want to make money. They don't care for life of a structure. They shall not care. They want to make money and they have to sell that product. Simply they say, we have to sell it. Why should we worry about all that? Our job is to sell it, and that's all. Build it, sell it, build it, sell it, build it, sell it. Those who don't stay, let them die. They can say that. Let them die. If they want to die, I won't be there. I run away. That is our product. But even then, we are valued or we are not valued. My confinement is not that. It's those public who spend money, they have to decide. But we have to learn. We have to learn what best we can do, how best we can do. That's called quality. Quality never stands at one point. It never terminates at any point. It keeps on moving and moving and moving. So far I had in line to ISO 9001-2015 latest provisions of quality system, conferred with you about what is required in terms of its format, Annex SL, and I submitted to you talks on general and RCC buildings construction, supervision of construction, as well as designs requirements. And I explained at length about what should be done, what should not be done, what actions are required, and I refer to you from my civil engineering book, as I showed to you many times, what I wrote long before in that. Long before, though it's still valid, there may be changes in technology, additional items have come, but management remains still same. In those days was confined to few designations, but now it has been diversified into many disciplines like construction supervision, construction designs or building designs or designs, and safety management, then quality management, planning management, costing management, administration. All these have come in, and which involve many formulas, many mechanisms, many procedures for purpose of intact quality management that we achieve. Though it's diversified, of course you can say it's for prime projects or national projects or international projects, not for small one, but I think that's bad idea. It's for everyone. Safety, quality, control, planning, construction, and all that, which are now considered specialized arena, specialized forums, but integrated to one point. So I call it integration of all these disciplines into one point is a production of product quality. That's integrated quality, integrated management, integrated, just like we say, integrated complex planning, integrated times of planning, integrated quality management. ISO 9000 says quality system management. It's same thing. Integration of various subsystems to one system, integration of various sub-discipline systems. And when I say sub-discipline or discipline, this means it's a specific branch of engineering, and there are therefore discipline engineers. So it starts from designs practically, not budgetary or not conception wise. Design starts, and for design it starts from feed. So feed, design, development, detailing, then tendering, bidding, and then contracting, then construction, and then completion practically, mechanically, and then maintenance, and then final completion. These are phases. Again I say, let us say from conception to feed. Conception means initiation of project, to feed, which is FEED, front end engineering design, which goes to designs, schematic designs, which goes to detailing of designs, then it goes to bidding statement of quantification, specification, everything, and then it goes to actual work, physical work, operations of work, which then goes to stage when we say testing and commissioning or mechanical completion, and then it goes to maintenance of that for so much duration, and then successful maintenance means completion of that project. And once it is completed, it starts to change its term or title from project to operation. So project to operation is called project management. You can define like that in simple term, project to operation. Project means not delivery of project, conception of project to delivery of project, and maintenance. Actual completion of maintenance is final delivery, where you say date of operation has come, and that operation is permanent. Project duration may be 4 years, 3 years, but that duration is hundreds years possibly, or whatever you devise. Example, oil projects are generally devised for 30 years. It can be extended depending on status of its structural calibration of those are vessels performance, because structures are not independent. Structures are supports for vessels of machines in train or process. That vessel is performing or stops its performance, it depends upon vessel or equipment or machine or whatever exists, vibratory or stationary. It depends upon its response. If you have to change, it's a big job. So either you have to consider life of that vessel, or you have to consider life of its basis. If we have to change machine, then we have to shut down all and change it. Then we have to see what is value or balance life of its concrete basis. The balance life of concrete basis is not that much. Either you have to remove that foundation, or you have to retrofit that. And you think retrofitting of foundation is so easy? I don't think so. because that is mass foundation or thick element, as I explained before. So if you change your vessel, it's very expensive, much more expensive than foundation, and maybe that vessel available or it's not available, or it may take 6 months to get new one. So in that case, maybe you prefer to reinstall foundation, but it's a question of time. Until that time you do it, either you have to stop your processing or find something else. You may have to get some losses or unlosses of time. That's why I'm serious about that. That's why I'm serious. 30 years minimum is considered. What happened in Germany? I think Germany or some other country, that they stopped the nuclear power plant because it stopped performing efficiently. It's the nuclear power plant. It's clear and clean energy, yet they say it has completed its performing life. Means what level they think? That's what is quality. That's where I'm talking about. I'm not talking about an year. I am talking about practical engineering, practical management, practical work that we should keep in. As I said, some buildings exist in Abu Dhabi. There was a department for commercial buildings. What actually they used to do on their buildings? On every building, they send a laboratory team. Once buildings have completed 10 years, okay, go there, take concrete cores from columns, from slabs, from somewhere, and test them in laboratory. If you find that old concrete is still not sure, it's not that strong or it's that strong, only test results can tell. If that concrete by test core, meaning you take, you know what I'm talking about, from concrete as a sample by drilling out a cylinder of concrete, which is called core. That core is taken to laboratory and tested under compression to ensure a strength of concrete, how it is performing, what's its chemical composition, where it can disintegrate, how much more it can take. If we are not satisfied with that result, we can order there, take this building, this old building, don't use it, and we design another building on that. This is called a standard, but those countries can afford that. Our country, our economy cannot afford that. We will think to retrofit it or re-strengthen our structure. They think demolish this, destroy this, and bring another one in that place, because they can afford this. We can reinstate that strength chemically or otherwise, so that its life can further be extended for another period of 5 to 10 years. But here you see buildings of decades old still working and people use them. This is called differential of quality. There they think at one point, here we think at another point, but both are same. We are restoring that one by one method, and they are not interested in restoring. They say make new. This is difference. And you know generally what happens worldwide, structural anatomy or concrete structure is virtually considered for 10 years warranty. Though it is more, should be more, but 10 years is adequate for legal purposes, and they do that. Maybe you did not hear that, but that is a fact. Fact which is adopted by world over people. Now, as I said before, process industry or chemical industry use big quantity of concrete. I am talking of concrete again and again because this is only material which is generally used in construction, whether you construct your building, house or factory or whatever, or you construct a process plant, foundations or buildings. That is different world, of course, but concrete elements are also different, not like ordinary concrete. You can say that is something mass or thick elements, massive elements, or slow setting concrete one way otherwise, where composition of concrete is entirely different. And that is very important foundation area, because on that depends economy of your country. If there are no facilities, no plants, you cannot expect oil be treated, refined and given to you. You cannot have petrol, diesel, LPG, LNG if you don't have that technology, if you don't have the process plants. You can build your house without that, there's no process plant there. But for that economy of material or chemicals that affect your industry, that deliver you many products, their structure is different. Cost of equipment, cost of machinery, cost of system supporting that machinery, all are significant. Their structural foundations may not be that cost expensive, but very powerful. So those structures need quality provision. They consider quality criteria on that, though cost wise it may not be that much in comparison to cost of machine or cost of vessel or something else. So their concrete is completely different type. It is strong one, of course. It is quality in the sense that it is considered for long use, because it is subject to heat, it is subject to temperature variation, it is subject to climatic conditions, because always near sea. Such foundations are located near sea because such facilities are available already on certain sea areas, because offshore is connected to onshore. And what I am talking about onshore, offshore is just to drilling raw material and transferring it to onshore refinery plant. There we have to take very seriously quality of concrete, and I have talked many times on that, but I keep refreshing that, because those engineers who go to those plants, they face some problems about that, because of this is not included in engineering syllabuses, and until you get that type of project, you cannot learn what is required in those areas. If you confine yourself only to buildings, or to pipeline, or to water resources, or to bridges, or to something else like that, you cannot understand about this type of concrete, which is very expensive material but very powerful. There you need some study, you need some information, it's better, but only few points I can tell you before coming on to talking about quality items. I continued yesterday, and just I am reminding you that we have 2 points there in that concrete. One point is that this is not an ordinary concrete. This is not OPC or SRC. OPC stands for ordinary Portland cement, and SRC stands for sulfate resistant cement, which is very uncommon these days, not very demanding. So OPC of course exists, but OPC is not recommended for such type of works, because OPC is not slow setting, it is, you can say, normally setting, and this is not done there, this is not used. That is many reasons. Reasons are temperature, reasons are procedures, and what we actually expect. Those are heavy foundations. Heavy in a sense means abnormal in a sense. When you have a foundation, ordinary foundation buildings, you will say just take 1.2 meter by 1.2 meter or 1 meter by 1 meter and say 1 feet height and cross this. You can afford these. But on such major projects, you cannot afford that much. You have to fund actual requirement, and that actual requirement is very important. And generally, because such areas of projects are always located on beaches or hills, you have to reclaim those areas for purpose of a project, and you have to fill them maybe 1 meter deep, 2 meter deep, depending upon terrain of existing area and what level you have expected for building. So you cannot keep building parallel in vertical sides. You have to provide horizontal based buildings. Auto structures, that's very important point. We have to take that into our consideration. Very, very important, which we miss always, and we should not miss that. Let me see who's there. I can't see exactly the name. Some guys are welcome to Oliver. Who's this? I'm not able to read name. Shri, I don't know his name. Well, welcome everybody. Who's there? Mr. Tonis and Mr. Mohammad Moshad, Mr. Dharm Raja Pandey, Mr. It's not clear actually what name is there. Sorry for not clearly reading that. Welcome everybody, whoever is there. Well, I said that these elements which are thick, I call them thick, not I call them, these are thick elements in international specifications. I'm not talking national specifications because it's better to read directly international. We have to copy from that only. So whatever element which is more than 800 mm in dimension, 800 mm is 80 centimeter or 0.8 meters. This is minimum dimension, and quantity of concrete in that foundation is up to 8 meters. This is called thick element. Because of dimensions and because of quantity, we call it thick element, and its specifications are that it requires different kind of concrete. Slow action, slow reaction concrete, or you can say slow shrinking, low shrinking. Shrinking is slow, and there is another element which is called massive element, and which is above 800 millimeters minimum, but quantity is more than 8 cubic meters up to anyone, and their requirement is controls of concrete, what type of concrete that should be and what temperature approach there should be. As I said, ordinary concrete should be up to 32 degrees Celsius from 5 degrees or 4 degrees. So range is 4 degrees or 5 degrees to 32 degrees Celsius in ordinary concrete. Whereas in this mass blocks, thick and massive blocks, temperature is not more than 24 degrees maximum. Minimum same, maximum not allowed to cross for 24 degrees Celsius from its shrinkage point of view. This is difference, and because this is different type of concrete, this has got different type of materials in this. This is not ordinary Portland cement, absolutely. This is in substitution of its OPC by certain replacement of materials like GBS, means in cement quantity we relieve all cement, just keep 30% of that, and we say remaining is GBS, that is granulated glass blast furnace slag cement used to replace OPC, and this is called supplementary cementing material. There are two as such, up to three as such. One is PFA, but PFA is not very qualitative. It has certain limitations in its fineness value. So we use GBS, which can be manipulated, which can be managed in finenesses, and life of concrete can increase because of use of that. That is GBS. It's also called supplementary cementing material. And also there is MS, microsilica, or people call it silica fumes, which is up to 9% is added maximum, so that all OPC in that or not OPC, all metals that's included in that can be controlled in grinding, control in specification, control in fineness, and can be seen what area it covers. Micro silica is another one which is used in 10% performance only, 10% replacement, but GGBS can be replaced up to 70% or even more. Means you avoid cement quantity, you add this kind of GGBS or PFA or MS, so that your concrete is better than ordinary concrete. It works better, it's durable, it's resistive, and it doesn't release that much carbon dioxide as ordinary concrete does. It does equal weightage of gas, if approximately equal weightage of gas, carbon dioxide gas to environment when you use OPC, and that's purpose. If you replace 78% OPC with some supplementary cementing material, carbon dioxide release can be reduced. This is a very important point. Means you are avoiding loss of strength, you are avoiding loss of shrinkage, all that you are avoiding putting in concrete this way. But only you are wasting is that few more days are required for scaffolding props and your shuttering. Only that is affected, few days more, and then you can say it's same strength, equal strength. This is difference between that, and it's called massive blocks and generally bigger foundations, heavier foundations. You can say just like foundations of major machines, and this can be drawn use of this chapter, this talk of thick and massive element. And massive element means importance of curing, which is, you can say, thermal curing. As I explained before, you cannot flood water on that, you cannot do that, it will not work at all, because when you flood water, there is some seepage of water into concrete due to pores of concrete. It's not actually 100% compacted, but just vibrated, and water can penetrate in by power of its absorbing coefficient and power of penetration, permeability, and that is done in massive foundations. But curing is by thermal method, means whatever curing is expected because of your connection of water, that curing is automatic by covering it with some material and keeping it same in complete formed and covered state for number of days, as cure say 3 days more than 7 days, and then you can take out all that's required there from. So that point of thick element and massive volumes of concrete is entirely different world, but that is very important word, very important word. You need hard work on that. So we'll jump on again to our items, and we'll talk this in that item as well. And if you say what I was talking about yesterday, we were where we had to see where we were. I was let me see that file, because that was assurance requirement, and we had covered in that setting out and excavations we had covered, and we had talked about as many issues like reference to project key plans and individual building plans and grids calculations in all directions and grid angles in all directions, label profiles, conversions from GPS or coordinates converted from real to real coordinates, and third party certification, then settings of offsets from building lines, margin for working areas, and in case value required, actions on value requirement, record of running services, effects of running live services, program for diversion if required, coordination with statutory bodies, whether or not NOC required, whether or not excavation is hot work, safety measures to be adopted during excavations, and traffic diversion during excavation, method statements approved, equipments to be used, and workers fully informed or not fully informed, shoring materials, ingress and egress to and from trench well planned, and during night works hour what happens, and police permission, stockpiles of excavated material, environmental protection measures and dumping area available, definition of duration of excavation, rewarding arrangement, whether or not required, oxygen cylinders available if so required in confined areas, and aluminum ladders available, and masks available for all personnel, or safety glasses available, has toolbox stocks been delivered, emergency communication system been in place or not, responsible person to be dedicatedly present on the excavation, and water tank level for spilling water, etc. These were taken in that excavation. So, and also hand excavation points we covered. That was item number 2, say location of relevant pits, whether or not in line to record drawings, and these locations being discussed with relevant services authority, temporary permit being obtained, method statement of excavation being approved, and indicative depth of excavation, and also involved technician qualified for such significant operations, and direct excavation method using hand tools, hydrojetting of area. What precautionary measures methods have been adopted to protect unexpected accident? Who shall supervise such delicate excavation? Is follow-up procedure well defined? Is authority for live services discovering intimation known? Duration for diversion activities known? Method of maintaining services production known? And measures to be adopted in case of failure of the project. Services interruption impact plant operation, and information to police be required. And then after the excavation, what was checklist for formation level? I'll just brief that so that we refresh yourself really well. Has formation approximately reached, which can be checked by reduced level, flying from fixed datum, benchmark RL, and reduced level applicable to formation level or to foundation blinding bottom, and factual SBC or shape bearing capacity being confirmed either by plate load test or by some other applicable load test, whether formation is in water or it's in moist condition, does soil show dry area condition, and dewatering activity being continuously working, if so applicable, a field density test at formation level being conducted, the soil need improvement either by replacement or by some other suitably optimized method. The soil improvement indicated on project structural drawing has shoring been in place during excavation progress. Is soil condition indicating stronger soil than as specified? Is it economical to recommend redesign of foundation? Can equipment safely move to formation and work efficiently for various purposes? Have various grids between erected in place temporarily for verification of structures XI. If soil improvement is not required, can build a blinding preparation work move. Then there is another checklist item for ensure formation is well prepared, whether or not anti-termite treatment is specified. If required, apply treatment through specialist, marking of blinding areas, batten forms of lines of areas duly fixed, arrangement of blinding top profile, whether or not blinding pour is by RMC, or if so, whether or not pump is required, ensure required strength of concrete pour gang, ensure post-concrete curing arrangement, ensure tool for smooth finish are available, plan sequence of pour, plan pump locations, plan concrete delivery frequency, ensure that pour is not unreasonably delayed when anti-termite treatment is applied, ensure area is constantly kept dry. And there was another one, the waterproofing concrete production. This item number 5 was ensure that blinding is well cured for minimum of 3 days, ensure whether or not surface is smooth, apply repairs if needed, ensure all battens or forms removed, whether it's cold or hard application, can specialist application be proceeded, and then checklist for foundation footings preparatory works item number 6. Ensure whether or not protection applied on concrete protection, ensure setting out foundation in line with drawing, ensure rebars are fabricated and assembled to specified arranged requirements, ensure formwork of footing match the design, ensure reinforcing bars are properly placed and fixed, ensure formworks are true to plumb and lines, ensure concrete spacious whether plastic or concrete mix are placed well, ensure whether or not cathodic protection required, provide if so required, followed by continuity check, and check footings alignments better in grid reference, check footing top levels, check supporting system for formwork sites, ensure concrete protection is not damaged during preparatory works, make sure that safe access to all footings and strong working platform for workers and vibrators is erected before inspection for pouring concrete, check water hose pipe is available to all foundations, check curing arrangement are made available specific for concrete covers. In certain cases, thicker cover is specified for stub columns portions for which exercise of sub stub need executed. Ensure that care is taken at sector graph for construction joints. Then item number 7 was checklist for stubs, columns, preparatory works. Item number 7. I think this is my last item, and after that was 8. I remember I had to do 8 items on that. Well, I'm just continuing this so that you actually reconnect to what we discussed before. Being further going up, then ensuring setting out for stub column drawings, ensure rebars are fabricated and assembled to specific requirements, ensure rebars are properly placed, fixed and cleaned, ensure proper touch-up paint applied on epoxy coated rebars if so included, ensure construction joint is correctly scabbled or chipped or hacked, ensure power concrete covers are installed duly tied up, ensure formwork is in line to all directions, ensure formwork is well secured, ensure forms are all set in plumb on all sides to make a base for upper forms, ensure whether or not plinth or other beams preparatory works to be monolithic or otherwise, and make sure steel dowels are in place if separate casting programmed for beams, ensure all supports are properly fixed at bottom and the top of stub if not more than 1200 mm high, ensure steel clamps are in place duly tightened or tie bolts are fastened well, ensure whether or not pipe sleeves installed for tie bolts passing through column body, ensure whether or not cathodic protection required, if so required, whether or not it is critical, if it is non-critical, whether bosses and GI wires are available, check water hose pipe is available to all areas of stubs, check curing arrangements are made available, and make sure that safe access to all stubs and strong working platform or plates for workers and vibrators are in place before inspection for pouring concrete. These were 7 items. Now I'll end item 8, that's checklist for backfill works. Item 8, backfill. Backfill, a not a very common word, but it's very important word because you excavated certain area and you constructed some structure there, and when you constructed some structure you changed soil, you removed soil, you disturbed that formation, you placed your foundation on that soil, and before that you compacted, and other areas which you excavated for purpose of working or convenience, that portion is also disturbed one. You disturb that from natural existence that time, whatever degree of solidity or degree of consolidation that portion got, you disturb that. But because you have to do filling of that area where there is no structure or nothing is there except you have to fill, that filling activity is called backfill, because this was excavated out and material was taken in, then you have to backfill that volume foundation, which is called backfilling activity, which is very important one. What does it require? We have to see that point. It may require many properties, not easy to understand without practical experience, but still it's for informational purpose. The points must be kept in view. And for example point is that make sure selected fill or imported fill or desert fill materials are approved. I'm just reading first. Make sure that recommended additive materials are made available if so required. Make sure that stocks of backfill materials are located in some reachable place. Make sure that a screening of large particles is well done. Make sure that proper watering on material is effected for initial mixing, and check whether or not all substructural activities are completed, including block or brickworks. Check that all rubbishes and debris are cleared from areas. Ensure concrete protection applied on all surfaces and well protected. Ensure bottom portion of shoring removed. Ensure stages of shoring removal during backfill progression. Ensures backfill approvals. Ensure necessity equipment available, a shovel, small roller, plate compactor, etc. Decide number of backfill layers. Decide number of field density tests required to be conducted from layers. Decide number of passes of small roller of plate compactor. Decide to use jumper in corners where compactor otherwise cannot work. This is actually we discussed this yesterday also, but just for memory and overlap I'm trying to fill. Means selected fill means a fill you can take off from excavated material, but it's very limited one. It is not very quantity wise good, so we can use that some portion of that if you think that it's good for backfill, depending on its results in test in laboratory, or you have to mix some additional metal, say dune sand or some other metal into that to change its chemical composition and also its ingredients. Or we can say that this is imported fill, means if we don't take any fill excavated with, we brought from some other site which is freely available in excavated material, and we can take that excavated material earth through tractor or some other, we can bring it to site after examination by your whatever shop. You have to examine this material, see it, and that's called imported fill. You have to import it, you have to importing this metal from some source. Of course, when I'm saying imported doesn't mean foreign imported, means local area or some other area nearby. You can see where is best material and cut sample and test in laboratory and you file. That's okay, fine. You can import that material for purpose of for purpose of construction. Then you say desert fill. Desert fill means some fills are good also in desert, which you can test and try. And then you can say what else you say, additive materials. What I'm saying, you have to add something to that one, that's additive material, but generally it's not done because we don't expect that. Generally even now they fill with we can say fill with materials or small quantity available. Then you can say make sure that stocks of backfill materials are located in some reachable places, should near site. You'll keep all your backfill materials for purpose of storing it, or purpose of using it, reusing it. And then you say screening of larger particles. You can screen by, there's a bucket like the excavators there, JVCs there's a bucket, and that bucket can be replaced by another bucket which is having strains in its place of bucket, and you can take up material on that and you screen that material. You have stone chips left, to throw them somewhere, means will truck. So you can say will handle stock backfill material and make sure stocks of backfill material are located in some reachable area, and make sure that screening of large particles is well done. So we'll screen all particles more than 75 mm or 40 mm depending on the type of it is. If it's specified 100 mm, then we can take 100 mm and we can leave other portion for you. And then we say that stocks of being materials are located in some feasible area, and then screening, make sure screening is done, and make sure that proper watering on material is effected for initial making. Maximum, make sure that proper watering on materials is effected, and check whether or not all substructural activities are completed, including blocks or block. And then and we say check that all rubbishes and debris are cleared from area, which is very normal. When you work, debris will be there. You have to clear out before starting backfill activity. You cannot leave debris, rubbishes inside backfill, which are permissible. And you can say ensure concrete production applied on all surface, null protected. Concrete production, I just remind, it's not simply production of concrete, it's production of concrete against soil contents of sulfates, chlorides, and its production from mobile water from beneath, where is no proper material for food, there's no proper quantity here to eat, but by this way or that way, by some suggestion, we can make that. Means whatever is required, and then you can say protection of surfaces which can be attacked by chemicals, those protection of foundation surfaces, stuff surfaces, or some beams there, those can be applied with some protection layer which is not cold applied, which is cold applied, not clean applied. And I can say that you can bring there yourself. Well, we say waterproofing and soil protection is applied properly on all exposed surfaces where there is no foundation. Means it's a lot of work to be done vertically, but they do it, and this is called casting. Then we said that you can say bottom portion of shoring removed when we apply that one in excavation, then all surfaces are well protected, and also this material which we provide for purpose of waterproofing is protected from some work. If you are going to down in that portion which is not steel there, this steel mesh is available or something else is available, you can do that and you can use that. But no, it's depending upon you what type of protection you take, maybe block work or maybe some other, or maybe some flaxel sheet for protection of waterproofing. So then you can say, as you fill, you have to start fill in stages and not in hurry, because it can be mistaken. Then we can say shoring removal, which we provide for purpose of earth should not fall in. And during backfill we can remove shoring, and we have equipment available for market. This through, you can say this is through RT or through all that. That's what you have to take care of internally as well as externally. And we have to decide number of backfill layers depending upon depth of fill. We have to fill, just keeping outside thickness of this member, say 20 centimeters or less, and we can say that we will carry on till future, till time come, and this backfill progresses until all layers are filled, duly tested, and maximum fill should be 125, because it is all structural material. There's not side less one, lower one, and these backfill layers must be interlocked together. Interlock, how it is done, equivalent with that. Then you can say removal of shoring and removal of all this, and rolling each layer, rolling or compacting using a plate compactor or roller, and you roll in such a way, in such a fashion that complete package happens. Till now it's not package. Means after that, field densities of every layer you have to do. Then you have to decide number of passes, how many passes give that density, passes and purity. These were some points that we considered, but most important point is that how to backfill. How to backfill, that's important point. It's not so easy as we think. It takes our time. Backfill, I'm stressing on that because I have seen it's not done in field properly. Whether it's small project or it's big project, people do not care. That is unfortunate. We should care, but no, we don't. I don't know why we run that fast there. We do not consider backfill in a professional way. Why do we not consider backfill importantly, significantly? Maybe because of lack of information, because of we do not know what does backfill mean. First, that should be clear. What is backfill actually? Why we are so serious about that? When people think it can work automatically. People think, I'm not thinking. It's unfortunate that even some professionals least bother about that. This is serious point, very serious in a sense. It should not be. It should be given due care, but it's not given due care. So it's my duty to explain about what is in my mind, why it is in my mind. Some people even excavate only where the columns comes and leave otherwise. They don't even excavate whole area. And therefore, backfill is no meaning for them because they work non-professionally. But when we work professionally, backfill is very significant items, not because of cost, but because of expected service, expected performance that created packed material must give. There are possibilities in foundations of impurities. There are possibilities of organic material. There are possibilities of, you can say, water flow through that medium of soil or backfill. What we are interested in to do something which is not damaging to structure. We have to see something that prevents movement of building. You know, railway track. Have you ever noticed what is railway track? There is a soil below, then there are sleepers, or below that there are some packing of aggregates, stones, and between sleepers itself there are packing stones, loose though, and then there are tracks otherwise. What purpose of these aggregates or stones there is ever thought of? There should be some purpose, because this track is flexible. This can move lengthwise, longitudinally, or widthwise, cross-sectionally. Means it can move, there's a track here, it can move this way slowly, and it can move this way, both ways when train jumps over. It can move both ways. So maybe because of integrated system of railway track, there are railway sections, there are sleepers below, there are fish plates, and these sleepers are having package of this material. So movement is tried to be avoided. Actually, cross movement, though it looks that it's very loose, but it works due to track being not exactly flat but sloped section wise. Longitudinal section is that, and it's sloped like this, otherwise sloped like that, so that train wheels do not come out. This is gripping system, gripping track. We have a fill up here in our foundation. Many foundations are these. There can be vertical jump, there can be horizontal movement in both directions. We have to provide adequate resistance that this holds foundations from moving freely to some extent, not exactly how much, to some extent. It should provide indirect help to structure. And we adopt that system, it's better for us. fear of that system. That system says its complete unit of vegetable and your other items that should be cooked in oven. Same thing here. We are cooking something in earth by packing, by interlocking and densifying them to such resistance that during this vibration, you know what I'm saying, this is vibration, during this vibration, this interlocking should resistance its loosening packs. During action, seismic action, let us say this happens this way, 3 dimensional, this way, this xy axis, and this is during the seismic action where your earth moves, these packed particles should protect themselves from impact of this earthquake or wind or some other force, machine force, that's vibratory force, wind force, that is stirring force, and this is your spring action on your earthquake. If your foundation is here, this is your foundation and it is surrounded by this packing, this will give you resistance. And if it's interlocked packing of granules, granular material, not spherical materials, this is spherical, this is spherical, I mean to say sphere. This, if this is another sphere, this can touch each other and move. This is sphere and this is sphere, and you could put any here and here and there, but these can slide with each other. You get my point? These spheres can slide with each other like this and like this, and move and erode with each other, and destruction of volume. So your foundation is moved. That should be considered while doing backfill activity. We are backfilling all area around foundations, whatever corner, though my machine may not reach there, machine plate compactor or roller, yet I have to do that. That is very important point here. If we can do that, if we can understand that. Understanding is more important in engineering than engineering formula. If we understand conduct of building or structure, we can understand a lot. That is without formula, with some assumptions. If I have a picture in my mind, I want to produce this type of building, then I can think of that. Shall I or shall I not? That question should come into my mind as an engineer. I'll keep off books first and think on. Then I'll refer to books for verification of what I am thinking, for validation of that I am thinking rightly or wrongly. That is job of an engineer. Books comes later on. Common sense. What do you want your structure to conduct? What power you want to give to your structure? It behaves like that. That cannot be understood by common person. I want a structure to see is performed this way. Then I have to go to its structure, how I arrange these members in what manner that I get this response from structure. That is called philosophy of your structure. This philosophy works from top to foundation and soil on which it works, and packing of backfill it works. Every backfill is therefore structurally very significant because it supports the structure. That's why I'm trying to stress something. You can't simply say backfill to fill. It's not backfill to fill, it's backfill to work. It's not simple fill. It's not simple fill. It's part of a structure to help structure stay there without dancing, without oscillations, without vibrations in three directions or in all directions. But it is idealistic talk. Practically, it doesn't happen because of various reasons. Your particles are not created. You're not having good material of excavation. You're not able to get selected material of excavation. You're not able to import material to that level, and so many other reasons. Water is moving through your soil. You can't handle your subsoil water. You can't handle perfectly your water table. So every point therefore requires attention. And what's depth of your foundation? What is structural below? You cannot assess all that until you have soil investigation report. Soil investigation report gives you an idea what way your strata below foundation would conduct. If you understand that thoroughly, much before then you start building, you will plan for something, not exactly what I plan, they will learn to away what soil below is. What soil below is, that should be told you by drilled bore holes log, and you know information at what level I am and what level I have to go and what are results, and that would decide your way of excavation, and way of excavation would decide what sort of backfill you have to do. Because when I used to work for someone, we used to give some specific changes in drawings, in designs. They didn't like what they had to do. I told me, you missed this drawing, no problem, I am not helpless about that, but you did not view that phenomenon. Well, backfill I am stuck in, confined. Fill to solidity, filled to reduce separation, filled to remain in position as long as possible without debonding or without removing interlocking. That's why we don't recommend clay, because clay cannot interlock. Clay moves up and moves down in volume. When it gets water, it swells and increases volume, and when it dries out, it reduces in volume. So this product of clay is not meant for backfill, plainly speaking. We need granular material. This can be sand, fine sand, or coarse sand, coarse sand. It can be staunches, it can be sphagnum aggregate, it can be something else which fills in areas around soil. It's difficult item. It's difficult really, but not very difficult. If you use mind and sense, we are saying selective material, screening material, mixing material. Always said that screen means take best quantity from that, remove all plasticity and etc. Clay is plastic, remove that, just try to take something. And if you can try to take something important, that is to get sand, try to take that if you have this, and also try to hand what was year old. So backfill is done therefore with very important material. You may consider just no concrete is there. It's not concrete, it's better than concrete. Means in every layer you are constructing a road. In every layer. One layer 20 centimeter to 15 centimeter, 15 centimeter layer you are constructing, and let us say you have to fill 10 layers. This means 150 into 10, 1.5 meter you are filling in 10 layers. Each layer is important. You do compaction, watering, and where you cannot reach hammer, or not hammer, rammer. Rammer is used at corners. and prototype machine is used for compaction, roller machine or not compacted, and then density test. This way we fill your backfill and compact, leaving it to nature then to further consolidate it in years to come. That's called consolidation. Compaction is packing volume by material. Pack as much as possible, pack as much as possible, so minimum voids are left. Minimum voids are left, maximum voids are filled. Because you are filling something, then there's porosity in that, or there's something else, you fill in that and you reduce, crush all that into volumes and complete all layers as such after waterproofing of foundations. This point is very significant. If you can understand, engineers can understand, but they just claim that they are specialists and they don't know what you are doing. So this backfill compaction, I think you must understand what I am talking of. When backfill is filled in layers and brought back, and remember, we cannot damage that waterproofing because we have provided already support system or protection system of that. Now we reach by this backfill to level of floor where bonding is done, because not exactly 10 meter, come about 10, 11 or 10, 15, let's say 10, 15. So backfill I have explained, I'll explain further also. Let's go further before doing that. Then you can say checklist for grade slab, floating slab, a plinth level work. Let me see what time it is. It's 2:57. So no problem. Mr. Ram Kumar, welcome. And what is that? Let me see. Yes. Checklist for grade slab. First of all, we will be clear what is grade slab. What is actually grade slab? This slab means you can say it's not a structural slab. First of all, let me explain to you. It's not slab like in basement or in other levels. It's a non-structural floor slab, and it's located at plinth level, or you can say ground level, where there is foundation below, and this slab is called grade slab, and somebody calls it floor slab also, because there is no connection to beam or to wells. Only wells are there which you can use, and it is resting on filled layers and surrounded by either beams or walls, dwarfed walls, and there's already waterproofing or protection on this wall internally around that slab, and there is left a joint, a blank between these ground beams or walls and edges of this slab, floored slab. So what you imagine, you can say you have reached a backfill level. Imagine this is the backfill level, or let us say this way, you may not understand that way. Let me explain like this, because let us say this is backfill level. You have done backfill up to this level, and these are here walls, and this on this you have to lay slab. Here around this you have to fix some open area, like you can say a chase or a groove, where there's a gap to this way to go to float, this way or that way, this way or that way, this way or that way. So this is top of slab, so bottom of slab, let's consider up to here we will do backfill, and then we spread polythene sheet on this, and around that we will just pull up this polythene, push into the groove, and this gap shall be filled with flaxel or compressed material, and this slab is to be filled in or placed in your mesh steel or BRC, fabricated steel, and you have to provide services whatever they are, in case some electrical points, some other points, or if you are going to do some, you can say formal small points that you can buy from marketplace steel, and then you have to keep that steel layer or BRC, as I said, prefabricated steel, which are different designations, and that designation depends upon your diameter. You are taking 7 mm, 6 mm, 8 mm, whatever you take. That mesh means its designation according to how many these tendons, bars, and how, say 4 bars are there, and someone is taking that 4 bar in name of the washing here. I'll change it for you, don't get it. This is, you place this nearly in center of middle of vertical height or thickness of this slab. This is maybe 150 mm, so use 750, and if you have more then you have to take out. So once you place plastic on that, and that you place on that steel and chairs, that steel, and just control that plastic there. And after that, once you place services on that area, and remember, it's not simply you do concrete on filled surface. I just missed to tell you more because of sequences, that you have to place blinding concrete first before placing your plastic. Below plastic, they should blinding. But sometimes what people do, I have noticed, they try to miss this blinding and directly lay plastic on finally filled layer. This is done somewhere. I cannot say that's right or wrong exactly, because ultimately it's not going to touch natural soil, it's going to touch engineered soil. So we can grant some concession point to that also without doing blinding. You are working on practical concrete. That's very important point. We have to understand. I have seen people to save time just do directly, but that's not correct. We should follow specification as much as possible, otherwise work is not good. Now we are ready to backfill with blinding with polythene sheet, and our polythene sheet should move into joint, and we have put around flaxel between polythene, vertical polythene, and this shutter. We have to put your flaxel material, and then we have to start concrete. You have to concrete whole slab, whatever area, or you can do it in patches or in base. You make all base, and this is ordinary same strength concrete, same specifications, and we would say 15 centimeter or 20 centimeter depending upon design. Use same concrete technology, less slump in this case, because it's tough, thick mix. It's not thin or very slow mix. You have to do it, and in general, because this is ground slab or grade slab, sometimes it receives very thin floor, or you may receive some floor which is very thin. Design floor you may require, because it is ground floor, you may require finishes which require very good level, and that can import use of use of advanced materials, and that can be kept in the store. You apply them after when your time, but you have to keep ready now. These you have to keep ready these materials you are going to use with your electrical materials or other materials. Depends on your electrical engineers how they suggest. Are this watertight, water level still continuous? And that is done after concrete. Can say you have to provide float, power float, or helicopter finishing, you can say like that, helicopter. This is type of helicopter because it moves like this and work here. Or you may wood float or steel float, depends upon what is the requirement. When we go to after this 50% of, you can say some percentage of this say, well, I'm not going to that one say what else it is. Let's say what it says now. Let's say it reads, ensure that backfill carried out properly to underside of grade slab blinding, ensure requirement of complied with field density, ensure that all type of services required below grade slab have been carried out, duly tested successfully for first fix, ensure whether or not pipe surrounding have been done in compliance with specifications, and make an option whether or not blinding shall be required or otherwise, and establish stop of blinding levels, ensure necessary blockouts provisions of form have been provided, ensure waterproofing or concrete protection on plinth beams or plinth walls being done properly, duly protected, and ensure proper profile of proposed concrete for blinding works. In case blinding is not required, check for grade slab, and ensure that polythene isolation membrane is in place, and ensure that perimeter joints materials are placed properly, ensure that either a blinding topped with polythene member or directly on polythene member on compacted soil, whether fly mesh is placed in, ensure adequate supporting chairs are placed in, ensure first fix of electrical, instrumentation, communication, etc. are completed, ensure adequate area is available for smooth pour. This is a point. Ensure adequate area is available for a smooth pour. Ensure grade slab level profile is fixed correctly, and plan inspections as well as pour. This is what this item is about. But there was a question of access of concrete to that. That's the point. Access can be made because ground floor, ground level or plinth level. It's not a deal. You can do if you are using crane. There's no problem of access. Only people have to go. If you are doing mobile pump, there's no problem of access. You can do from any distance. All these points are not taken into consideration. Then after this we go to, once we have finished our slab work and curing continues on that, we go to columns you can say, and that is checklist for RCC column works, item number 10. RCC columns, or you may say superstructural columns. And more information, I just remind that grade slab is not valid where the basement. There is no validation of that grade slab. That grade slab shall be at basement level, not at ground level. In that case, where your first concrete of basement starts, that place you have to either do with structural concrete or this concrete. Generally at that level, structural concrete can also be provided, so that at least at that level it can be checked. Or otherwise you can do non-serious actions. And if you do this, now as I said, structural at base level is important because thrusting side and impacting side of that building tries to be squeezed or compressed, also tensioned, both. So when something is like this, it's happening like this, something like this can move this can move the opposite, it can contract or expand. For that purpose, floating is like this better. For that purpose, if you structurally connect this may harm structure as well. We have a little, careful, you have to decide that way, not simply blindly we can decide. Now checklist RCC columns. It says, what it says, let's see what it says. I'm not finding sitting because I don't have a reflection on my face. It says, ensure scaffolding with working platform is in position for access around columns for preparatory works. Remember, item number, see they are also same, reinforcement, formwork and pouring, general, but we have to think in details because of every provision of these items. It says, let me read for you first, then we talk, because you know what I'm talking about. Just I talk and don't inform you, won't mention benefit. I don't know, my watch is working at 6:19. Okay, I think I'm wrong. 6:39. Okay, fine. No problem. Still less some 20 minutes, 15, let's say half an hour. All right, no problem. We can do it. So let's move. It says ensure scaffolding I'm talking, supporting system to move up. Scaffolding with working platform is in position for access around column for preparatory works. Means we have to prepare supporting, public supporting system or worker supporting system, a kind of scaffolding around, which scaffolding can take your people on platform. That we have to provide first around that column area. Then we say ensure rebar fixing is correct to requirement, or we have to do it. Overlap should be fixed rightly to specifications. Lowest ring should start at half of spacing location from structural level. Ensure rebars are well tightened and maintained in plumb. Ensure rebars are clean and free from rust. It's very difficult, no? Ensure sacrificial anodes is fixed if so required. Sacrificial anode. Ensure such touch-up paint is applied in case of epoxy coated rebars. Ensure electrical and other required inserts are fixed and approved. Ensure all concrete spacers are placed in position. Try to avoid excessive spacers within column main body if not so required. Check that these spacers are fixed on top portion out of top of concrete. Check that these spacers are fixed on top portion out of top of concrete. Ensure all inspections before closing reinforcing bars by formwork. Check whether or not starter bars or kicker is convenient. Preferably, it should be avoided. Check forms are fixed in position correctly. Check side supporting system intact. Check grid offset thread lines are available. Check from both axes, x-axis and y-axis or both directions, reference to ascertain column locations. Check tie bolts are fixed, preferably outside of column section. Do not tighten them immediately, but after ensuring location and plumb OK. Top inclined support is meant for keeping forms in position. Middle support located and fixed at 1/3 from bottom is meant for resisting resultant fluid pressure during pour. Bottom horizontal support is meant for holding formwork foot. Check whether or not heavy plumb bobs are hung from top of foam on at least 2 slides. On both axes, heavy plumb bob means either use heavy concrete piece or brick, etc. Binding wire can also be used to hang heavy weight. Timber piece can be fixed on top of hanging weight. Then first check form location at bottom, check from location at bottom, then at top on both axes. Check location somewhere at middle. After ensuring from location, check plumbs on both directions at 3 locations vertically in full height casting. Check for adjustments if so required to bring errors within permissible tolerance or limits. And once forms are checked for horizontal and vertical locations, start fastening tiles and ensure supports are well anchored. Ties, I'm saying fastening ties, not tiles. Start fastening, as I said once, let me read again. Once forms are checked for horizontal and vertical locations, start fastening ties. Ties means column ties, external or internal both, and ensure supports are well anchored. Having completed various columns, preparatory works move for working platform operations and check stability of system. Then I say, having completed various columns preparatory works, move for working platform operations and check stability of working platform system, which is very significant. Plan for inspection and pour. These are items I repeat and we talk on that. What I said is that I said ensure scaffolding there. We have to provide scaffolding, cup-lock system or otherwise cup-lock system around that column and each column at ground, which is very important because people shall go on to work. Maybe you have to raise vibrators, you have to raise some small tools on that, and persons, individuals are not very strong. These people try to know everything, but being good citizen, do not share with them Then let us move further now. Scaffolding is in place. You can move up, you can make ways to scaffold, or you can put ladder on that. Or actually ladder is not that much, because you are doing only small area, column size, this and this. You have put steel on that. Fix steel from previous starter bar steel. You have to first clear all these rubbish on seals or loose cement particles from the area. If rust is there, you can clean all rust and show that this bar ends here. Then you have to take another bar from the here, overlap, and new bars should come up, and you have to hold them with rings in proper position, putting all covers and putting temporary supports like that. That's what is required here. As I said, this is for purpose of steel racing, steel fixing. It says that means ensure scaffolding working platform. The platform you stand and work up to 2 meter height, 1.5 meter height. You have to stand on that and work on steel, cut steel line through machine or directly as you like, means what sources are available. Stand there and fix the steel. Ensure scaffolding with working platforms in position for access around column for property works. So we have started steel fixing. Then next one is ensure rebar fixing is correct. You have to make sure whatever fixed on rebars, their overlap is correct. If there's no other story on that or small story on that, you can produce 2 for that. 2 rebars are correct. Ensure rebar fixing is correct to requirement. Overlap should be fixed correct to specifications, and lowest ring should start at half of spacing. That is important point. Location from structural level, what it says. When we start from column we ended, that is a construction joint now. Previous column where steel is projecting, you have to put overlap here and fix column hole as set. That point where our plane is there, somewhere we terminate that column. First of all, that joint should be clear without any impurity. And there's another one on top of that. All steel is fixed. Now we have to make sure that that previous point or construction joint, we will shift that one from previous column and later remove all that from that level of ground, or you have to go fix still at first point. So where first point comes on that the close area, that first point is, and from their top, suppose your drawing shows these spacings are 75, or you can say this is 304. First bar, let us say how to say that, means how to explain, that's important one. This is your level, ground level here, and this is your say bar you're fixing. This bar you fix here. So I'm showing a column like that. So at junction of 2, previous column, at junction of 2. Now this 200 mm or 150 mm spacing between various rings, which is shown, that is from point number 2. Point number 1 is half of that spacing. That's what I'm saying. If it is 150 mm, ring to ring means first should start at 75 mm. If it's 200 mm, it starts 100 mm from that. So let us say 75 mm, put in the next 150, 150, 150, 150, like that. And you can strengthen further at overlap area, which is overlapping bar, which is 50D, let us say it is 12 mm. So at 60 centimeter long, assumption is that portion should also be closely spaced, not exactly same space offers, but can be closely spaced depending on what strength of column it is. It is up to you to decide that, see, because it's not possible to strengthen the column. Sometimes you do that way. So first point is different one than second point, and then I'll say all this. So we understand what we are going to do. Means half space, full space or half space, half space, half space, and then full space. Overlap is strengthened because of localization of stresses. Then we go further and we say, so I have taken lowest should be half, or that's okay, we have talked of them. And we say ensure rebars be well tightened and maintained in plumb. Well tightened. Remember, this is called vertical member, and most time it is subject to direct load and this type of load. I mean to say bending loads. Bending load and direct loads. Direct load is not difficult. In fact, direct load is very powerful. What difficulty comes in when person standing as direct load does not understand what is stepping load. The person conducting as spiritual, as bending load and direct load, that causes a problem. For that person is going to do this way and this way both. This is direct load, this is bending load, or this is bending load, twisted load, bending load, twisted load, and direct load. So this connections of each bar and ring must be very strong. Wire bending connections between two cross joints should be very strong, so that it doesn't loosen. And when you are running and you are going in groups, you are talking, you are not thinking. And you go and think. So say tighten properly and ensure that it doesn't go like this. This is a bar. Let me say like this. It's like if this is a straight bar, it should be straight. It should not be like this, or it should be cranked somewhere. People just crank. No, don't do crank. Keep like this. This is an overlap here. Keep like that overlap. Straight. All you tighten like that up to next level, and further overlap. I mean, you have just scaffolding with you. Maybe your height floor 4 meters, so you have to do that for 4 meters and further overlap, because you have to correct the next slab. If you are not using full 12 meter length bar, you have to use like that. And if you use 12 meter the whole length, then you have to hold that bar, very difficult. So what says that's done? You have to tie them, and remember, these rings you are binding with, you are collaborating with. This is holding these bars. Should not be left this way, should not be left this way. It should be this way. Means this closing and should be at 45 inside. This is useful in earthquake connections, this way and this way. One is this way and another is this way, other way. Means this should be, gripping in. That is required. After that we move further, and what it says? It says, I think light is coming on my face. I better avoid that. Yeah. It says around 7, sun starts on my face, and now this 15 minutes will be a little difficult. No problem. I'll manage. Now what it says, each rebars be well tightened and maintained in plumb. Ensure rebars are clean and free from rust. If you find these are not clean, dust is there, you can apply your compressor if you have, or you can apply something else, or water or something, and brush it. You can brush it also, wire brush. You brush, ask someone to brush it, and if rust is loose, it shall go away, and if some dust is there, it shall also go away. Means a general cleaning of bars. Ensure sacrificial anode is fixed if so required. Now, when I'm talking of cathodic protection, which you use in such type of work, if it's defined, specified, you have to provide anodes or you have to provide cathodic protection in your drawings given. These drawings are from some specialist who calculated all this. So what I say, cleaning of rebars and sacrificial anode. If you are going to do cathodic protection, you have to provide anode on this bar, say a height of 2 meters from ground possibly, because you have to put this anode inside and connect it to centrally controlled cathodic protection. So there will be a connection point on that which will be taken into your circuit. But this anode shall remain inside concrete. You cannot take it out from there. That's what's called sacrificial anode. We sacrifice it, but it works. It's like an appliance in electrical engineering, but not electrical engineering, it is in other engineering. Then it says that ensure touch-up paint is applied in case of epoxy coated rebars. If you are not using ordinary bars, you have procured epoxy coated bars, it's good. It's an excellent idea. It's an excellent idea that you are thinking of steel protection from rust. Of course, you have to spend some additional money, but you are saving steel property, that is appreciable. But remember, if you use cathodic protection, then this steel of epoxy coating would not work. In that case, your cathodic protection is not worth, and you have to apply epoxy coated steel on job. Your costing and what do you call that? Costing and steel material would be little different for you to talk, and if you do not talk, that shall be a problem for you. You will not be able to understand. This means we touch up that damaged portion of epoxy coated bar. There may be some during handling erosion. You are taking bars by machine or by something, and you are bending and cutting, all that you are doing, and there can be some hammer here and there, or something can happen, erosion of that epoxy or some cut on epoxy. So epoxy touch-up paints are used at same time with small brushes. They keep painting on that portion until concrete is placed. That is purpose of epoxy bar. Epoxy is maintained on site. No steel cover should be left blank. Then this touch-up paint, if it is that touch-up paint, after that we say ensure electrical and other required inserts are fixed and approved. That's very important point. Not necessary, but we take in columns also sometimes electrical conduits, because in many buildings you see they don't provide walling or walls in fill, rather they are happy with thorough glazing, complete glazing or thorough glazing. We provide in concrete. There is you can say a doctor who gives you okay, you use this portion of verticality for conduits. Your electrical doctor tells you this. I'll take into this because there's no place in between two columns, wall is not there, glass or curtain wall is there, or there is some half wall with window. I cannot put my conduit there because it will come into open area. So That electrical guy takes that conduit into your column from ceiling or slab down or from floor below and takes up for low volt or for power point, low point, that generally low not low means power point, that point, and or brings from top down to column. It's embedded pipes, conduit pipes, SS, or some other services like this internal AC, and they brought in some conduit, flexible conduit for purpose of their pipe routing in, and also required for required for what? Required for some AC condensate drain also. So these must be fixed within but protected. You cannot simply say that. Well protected and covered. That's very important. And for that we have to take care when we do wall work. Otherwise you cannot do that. Then we come on to next one, that is ensure all concrete spaces are placed in position. Again, concrete spaces and covers, all these steel bars of columns all around four sides must be untouched with surface of plaster. Open yourself and see what is your column. You can open it and you can see what actually I am telling you, something that there should be a gap between surface of shutter form to steel external side. That means protection layer of concrete must be full when you take out or open your shutter. If it is 40 mm from concrete surface to steel surface, first steel surface, it's concrete cover, and this should be around whole sides, means your steel is away from cover. It is located, its external point is located at cover, your ring, and minimum your steel. No steel or no ring can be placed within cover. That's not placed there. This means you have to fix all your steel or your concrete covers there up to foundation bottom, and as many as possible up to whatever height you think possible. Then what I say is, you have to also try to avoid excessive spares within column, main body. If not so required, you allowed only those which can work to keep these bars. Do not unnecessarily congest them or crowd them. Crowding would not result in anything. Just keep as minimum as possible these covers, so that steel remains safe in position as well as your work is satisfied. We don't want to burden these covers within if it works. That is what it is. Then you go further and see what it says, that Now check that these spaces are fixed on top portion of top of concrete. Now what actually it wants to say, I want to say is, you are placing steel for column, and this steel should be placed in design position away from surface of column. As I said, we have to fix concrete covers inside. It is possible that we just control position at top level of concrete. Already bottom is controlled because you have done it. Bottom of that column is already in position, steel is in position. You can put covers in middle height, and then show that at top, if you put these covers at top and try to stir that top still, and this still remains in position without displacement, these covers at middle and top and at bottom also would suffice purpose. Not necessary that you place covers at all levels if you are sure that these locations can hold it, but it is a risk. If you can maintain that, no need of putting covers everywhere. This is what it tries to say. So we have to ensure every time we pour that these steel do not move from their position. That's very important point. And let me move further. I'm not able to see that. Why? Then what it says, check whether or not starter or kicker is convenient. Of course you have to check that. Even at beginning you have to check that, at end you have to check that, and check this on top. Okay, ensure all inspections before closing rebars by formwork, because you have to close side of formwork one time, and before that you have to inspect every bar, and quality guy has to inspect this, and if required consultant or engineers inspect this before closing. Before after closing it's not possible to examine. And also check whether or not starter is okay, and preferably you can say, if you can avoid kicker, if you can avoid starter, you can avoid it, not mandatory. If you can control movement at bottom, if you think you can control at bottom, no need of a starter. If you can control, you fix it externally with such grips that it cannot move from that position. In that case there is no need of a starter bar, which is very small thickness, 10 centimeter probably thickness at column. Is it's a column of dimension of column into 10 centimeter thickness. Quantity wise too low, you cannot even vibrate that. So let's then go further to check forms are fixed in position correctly. Forms you have to fix, you have to see dimensions of forms at 90 degrees dimensions, not like this or like that. And then you have to make sure you have to put these lines of columns. As I said before, you have to take say 1 meter or more from axis line and on all columns. Then see, as I give you a formula, say 1.1 meter minus half depth of column minus this ply minus timber, and whatever balance should be that is staying at kicker level, at middle level and at top level, so that your dimensions are okay, your location of dimensions okay. This thread, this string should be in both directions. It may be 1 meter or it may be more depending upon your dimension of column. You fix that string and calculate how much up to that ply or up to timber, depends upon at which level. If you have to means half 1 meter or 1.5 meter minus half size of column minus ply of column minus if there is involvement of timber, and then how much you get balance, that should be reading on your your string. And this should be at all columns both ways. And then you have to go for slump, plumb. You have to fix on top some timber pieces, hang your plums, heavy plums, on all sides or two sides, and see at three locations, top, middle and bottom, that plumb is equal. So you have control of dimensions both sides, your control of location at top and bottom, your control of plumb on both sides. This is what it requires. Says check forms are fixed in position correctly. So you have checked by dimensions and by axis. Check side supporting system intact means supporting system, and then check grid offsets thread lines, told about threads. Check from both axis references to column locations they were checked, and check bolts are fixed preferably. Alright, now this we have done except the fixing of post. This supports when you are doing kicker, you are fixing horizontal member which holds with some slope, so and you have to inclined support at 1/3 height of column and one support at the top of that. All four sides are like that. So supporting system is perfect. You have to tie bolts on these columns also at certain locations, or shikanjas if not bolts, clamping, or this type of clamping, this type this way, this type this way, or your bolts, and then you are sure that I have done my work. Then you can say of that, tie bolts and do not tighten them immediately, but after ensuring and location of plumb and all dimension controls you have done. And you can say top incline, all supports you have checked, middle support and all supports, bottom support, inclined support. Then use a middle support located. What's a top inclined support is meant for keeping forms in position, and middle support located and fixed at 1/3 from bottom is meant for resisting resultant force, and bottom horizontal support is meant for holding formwork foot. Check whether or not heavy plumb bob are hung from top of forms on all sides, and we check the heavy plumb bob means either use heavy concrete piece of brick etc. Binding wire can also be used. Then it's all checks we have to do, check location somewhere, and we have to do all that. These are primary checks we have to do on these. This is preparatory works of columns which are mandatory to be done and recorded perfectly for purpose of approval. This we have to do, and then we have to move forward later on. If you do not do that, you cannot control your preparatory works. So in this case, we have done horizontal controls and vertical controls. Right? Horizontally, you check dimensions, both sides, locations from a string, and then you have clamps, and you have checked verticality, and all this is only for purpose of preparation and inclined supports and horizontal supports all four sides. You have seen that this column when we pour would not move this way or that way, or it will not open from either side. That is very important to be understood, and that is what is required. Now I will take it later on about how to complete that, but this is done for every column that we are really within both directions. There may be a chain of 10 columns this way, or 5 columns this way, or 5 columns this way, or somewhere else, and it means a big job to do for purpose of preparation and inspection that we have to do. Once it takes time, but work should be standardized. Because when you check plumb, it's not easy. You have to go up, check, then come down, then check, then come down, then check. It takes time, lot of time. That time we have to devote, and that's what we have to see. Now it's already 3, so I like to close it. It's too much now. Well, around 4 hours, already 3 hours and 50 minutes it is, and I think it's sun on my face. i'll I'll take it later on. I'll close here, and I hope you like this detailing very much. I close it now. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I'll close it now. We'll talk continuously on this call, because I'm taking much time on columns, because these are very important members of a structure, and these actually must be understood properly, and it should be that way. And I just wish you all, hope you enjoy this. So I close it now. Thank you, gentlemen.